without any further ado, let me get my ugly mug off this stream and let me get to the real deal, chat. Now, it's going to look a little different than normal. Discord kind of fucked with their the way you do video calls. So I'm not gonna have titles for people. We'll shout everybody out manually, but maybe throughout the stream I'll label. Either way, chat. Let's get my mug off the screen and let's get these introduced. Let's get these fellers introduced bright and early. Boom. Here we are, chat. We're all looking good today. Boom. Easy peasy. Hold on a second. Boom. Boom. Okay. Cool. All right. You guys are unmuted. Behave yourselves. Behave yourselves. Shit. Or don't. It's cool. It's cool if you don't. It's cool. All right. Let's see. We got, oh my goodness.
I refuse. I refuse to behave myself.
No, Dahlia's killing me with her ears. All right. Hyper Bunny Fang in the chat. All right.
Distracting.
We are the diner. We got ourselves a thick boy stream. We will start with the upper left, have everyone introduce themselves, say a little bit about themselves, and then we'll get on our way. And as they do that, I'm going to fiddle around with some OBS settings. Anyway, Dahlia, take it away.
I am Black Dahlia 42, guys. You've probably seen me in the chat modding and being obnoxious. I don't stream that much anymore, but I am going to be. Otherwise, you can just find me on Twitter, everything at Black Dahlia 42.
Next, Frighten.
All right, yo, this is Frighten. My man Frighten. You see me in chat. Stream, playing a lot of Valorant this week. Loving it. If you're playing Valorant, get at me. Always looking for people to play with. And yeah, that's it.
So for those that don't know, because Valorant's like the new hot game, it's breaking records on Twitch, whether or not there's any sort of foul play involved, we're not going to get into that. But for those that don't know, explain a little bit about Valorant, because it's like the new hot topic game right now.
So Valorant is based on the Counter-Strike model. It's a 5 versus 5, round by round shooting game, one spawn per round, except for there is one player that can res. Otherwise, it also mixes in Overwatch-like abilities. So there's some specialty grenades, some dashing, there's ultimates that you can acquire either by picking up points throughout the map or from kills. And yeah, so if you are a fan of TF2, Overwatch, Counter-Strike, hell, even if you like stuff like League, this might be a game for you.
Quite honestly,
really
I give it a little shit as a meme because, you know, it's like, oh, it's an Overwatch and Counter-Strike. But honestly, it looks fun. I think you gotta like Counter-Strike more than Overwatch to appreciate it, but that's just me.
Oh.
Yeah, it feels a lot.
Maybe.
Yeah. So like Overwatch, it's all about your abilities and your ultimates. It's not about just your left click, right click stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In obviously Counter-Strike, there's grenade play and stuff like that, but it's still, can you aim, can you hit? But then it mixes in, like, you know, here's an ability that does this, you know, you can blind people, you can stun them, things like that. There's some trapping, stuff like that. So, but it's still, at the end of the day, you got to click heads. And I'm really terrible at it, but I'm having a lot of fun.
It seems like it's a lot less. Like, Overwatch felt like, okay, I'm damaging a shield. Okay, we all have our ults. Okay, a big clusterfuck for 30 seconds, and then you reset. Yep. It seems like with Valorant, it's less of that and more like it does take a little bit more aim and stuff.
Yep, and the probably the biggest difference between Overwatch and Valorant is that there is no opportunity to, like, solo clutch out a game in Overwatch. Almost none whatsoever. Because you can respawn, people are always flowing back in. So, like a 1v3 situation in Overwatch, it's pretty much game over. There's no chance there. Where for Valorant, because you can one-shot headshot people with certain weapons, the clutch potential is always there. So if you're a person that likes big moments in your gaming, you'll enjoy Valorant for that ability.
Fair enough. We'll go on to Merwin. What do we got, Merwin? We'll let you introduce yourself next as I try to get your name.
In beta. The only way to get into the beta is by watching streamers that are currently playing the game and have drops enabled.
Don't believe that everybody has drops. Not everybody has drops, by the way. Some of them are memes.
It'll say on the person stream if they have drops enabled.
Yeah, it'll say below it. It'll say below it.
Yeah, Overwatch does that too sometimes.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to get it on day one. I got, just luck of the draw, random. So and loving it. It's so fun. I got away from Counter-Strike just because the people I used to play with weren't playing anymore. But getting back into it again has been a lot of fun. Even though I'm old as shit and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling how to get these kids. And damn. Whew. They snap on you.
All right, Marilyn, what about you? Introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself.
Marilyn, Joe.
All right.
Oh,
Me
damn it.
next?
Whenever you guys
Okay,
turn your
uh-oh.
cams on and off, it shifts everybody.
Discord
So try not
Uh-oh.
to. Yeah, whenever you guys turn your
Okay,
cams,
it's you again, Frightened, because you're me now.
whenever you guys turn your cams on, whenever you guys turn your cams on and off, it fucks with the order. So try to do that as less as possible.
My bad.
That's obnoxious.
I'll just start
Yeah.
putting
Yeah,
a
no, it's
cover
not your
over
bad.
it
It's
when I gotta
it's
do the kid stuff.
it's literally not your bad. It's Discord
Okay.
being ridiculous.
Well, I am Marilyn Wizrobe Joe. No, I'm Marilyn. I try to stream on weekends, usually Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sundays. Play a little bit of Dead by Daylight. We also have bi-weekly Dungeons and Dragons streams. We've done like 6 or so of those. It's a good group of my friends, close friends, so it's a lot of fun. Beginners welcome. So if you want to stop in for that, feel free. And yeah, this weekend is definitely going to be a lot of Final Fantasy VII. So that's what's on my.
Man, that game looks very pretty. It looks very pretty.
I'm excited. I haven't looked at it at all. I haven't touched it. I'm waiting to get a fresh impression.
I watched Baru play it a little bit, and you like at the very beginning of the game, you're just trying to get a materia, just literally a single materia, and your entire quest is to do that, and it's pretty good. I didn't watch past that, but it looks very fantastic. I'm excited for it.
I'm ready.
I'm withholding excitement full blast, but I'm still a little curious about it for sure. All right, Wizrobe Joe, go for it, man. What do we got, man?
What's up, guys? I'm Wizrobe Joe. I know how to do spells and shit, so watch out. I'll ban you in the chat. I like lots of random video games. I've been playing Hollow Knight recently again for some reason. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I don't know.
Hollow Knight for some reason. Do you need a reason to play one of the best games ever?
No, you don't need a reason. You don't need a reason to do things like play that or Dark Souls, but sometimes it just doesn't happen.
For the record, Joe, what's the best Zelda game so that everybody knows?
It's definitely Skyward Sword for sure.
Oh, the controversial hot take. Okay, real talk. Is there anybody that actually likes Skyward Sword?
I actually like it. I just wish they would remaster it on the Switch and give it better controls. That's all.
Yeah, what I was always told was it would be a good game if it didn't force you to work out.
Well, yeah, I think that was like when the first one on the Wii, right? So they're just like, we have motion controls.
Yeah, it was like, you have to stand up and you have to shake your sword to get power. Like, what the fuck? Like Mario Party, you had to shake the can and everybody knew what was really going on.
You have to raise the Wiimote directly in the air, and if you move it slightly, Link will go from...
Hey, you know what though? The Wii led to some great ghetto moments. I remember at a Smash tournament, we had the Wii and we had the Smash Brothers Brawl, but we didn't have a sensor bar to get the game started. Because for those that don't know, on the Wii, you had to like click on the game, and if you didn't have a sensor bar, you couldn't do anything. So my friend held up 2 lighters in a dark room, and you could use that as an infrared. Like, only Nintendo. Only
Wow.
Nintendo. All right, last but certainly least, spicy.
Oh, damn. I mean, you didn't have to do it to me like that. But you guys see me in chat. I'm Spicy Head. When I'm not filling around in DBD, I'm having X give it to me in Resident Evil 2. Right?
Oh, he's addicted.
He
He's
has put me up in
addicted.
Resident 2. Yeah.
Spicy's
And,
a little addicted.
And then recently, I've been trying to make some sacrificial rituals so that way I can get into Valorant, because 3 days straight having that stream open all day with drops enabled, haven't gotten in yet. And man, I used to be huge into Counter-Strike back in the day. I mean,
Oh, really? I didn't know that
yeah.
about you.
One summer, like a while ago, I just got like super addicted, and that's just all I played for a while. And then I kind of got out of it, but it's been I've been wanting to play it again because I'm like, man, this looks actually a lot of fun, and I won't get pub stomped and I stay in silver ranks.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting out of silver once I put rank. Then maybe I'll get to gold if I really like
Oh yeah.
buckle down and try hard. But
I don't think I got the silver in Counter-Strike Go. I mean, the Counter-Strike I put the most no life hours into was Source. Second most
Same.
was 1.6. Yeah, everyone shat on Source, but man, I spent a lot of summers just wasting my life on like every game mode: surf maps, zombie maps, regular, competitive. Loved it.
so I found a pub in Milwaukee, a public server in Milwaukee, or hosted in Milwaukee back in the day, and there were guys from Michigan and Illinois, and a couple of guys from Toronto. And for 2 Halloweens in a row during my college years, we got like a group of a dozen guys together from this server to hang out in Madison, Wisconsin, because we have a huge Halloween party there every year, and we just went nuts. But,
Oh,
just a bunch of 20-year-old guys. There were 2 guys that lived in Madison at the time. It was out of control. My my gamer tag back then was Jihad Joe.
Now, I can't say the word, but it was actually ignorance. I had no idea this slang word was like really negative. So I remember in my networking class, our final was to connect a hub together and play Quake 3 Arena, and whoever won got extra credit. And I remember I won, but my teacher goes, "Do you realize your name is a slur?" And I went, no. So I got in a little bit of trouble for that. But, dude, that takes me back to, like, the times of, like, the LAN centers where they sold Balls Energy. You remember that? The blues ball. Yeah, the blue ball, the blue ball energy drink. Yeah, it was like $10 an hour or something ridiculous, and they had every single game ever on the computers.
So good.
I legit miss that Balls energy drink though. I found cherry cola versions recently, and they don't taste the same at all. They're horrible because they literally just took the normal blue balls, but like added cherry cola syrup.
I was going to ask you, because you had that when I was over there. I was going to ask you, did you ever try? I'm not going to lie, man. I wasn't even curious about it.
That sounds gross.
It was horrible. Don't do it. I didn't want to waste my money, and I had bought 2 of them, which was like the worst mistake of my life.
I remember we walked to our LAN center, and it was like $8 to $10 an hour we played. It was back when Battlefield 1942 was like the very first game. Like Battlefield 1 was just coming out. And I remember walking to the LAN center and then drinking Balls Energy. And I remember how dehydrated it makes you. Because I walked back home and I got a cramp because I was so dehydrated. Worst drink ever. Like, I mean, I like them, but man, I have really bad memories associated with them. All right, so does anyone here play DBD besides me, Dahlia, and Spicy? I know Merwin dabbles in it, but I know Wizdrobe for the most. Oh, Wizdrobe, you actually came back a little bit, didn't you?
A little bit.
A little bit. Frightened, I know you're going with Valorant for the most part. Merwin, you still play on and off, yeah?
On and off. It's been a couple weeks. No, I played last week. Yeah, a week ago.
I'm wondering where they're going to be at for, like, I don't know, like DLC. It's interesting because this newest patch that we tested, it's like literally finally like the biggest balance changing patch I think they've done to date. Like changing Hex Ruin is nothing compared to like neutering about, I don't know, what was it, 15 maps? So it's weird because on the one hand, I don't know where DBD is going to be at in terms of like what content can they release, what DLC, what licensing. And will the Corona shit delay them since they can't really meet at the office? What do you guys think? Like in terms of just where the game is at, what's in the future for DBD?
Okay, I think I'll start on this one.
Yeah,
As far as the futures go, we're seeing some possibilities of a Candyman DLC. I think that's what it's called.
Yes.
I've been seeing some things. I think the guy who owns the license to it has been starting to pop up in the DBD community, starting to like, he's even like liking and following the leak accounts for DBD, and everyone's just losing their shit.
Dude, even if it's not true, that's drumming up hype.
I hope he's a troll. I hope he's just a troll.
Yeah.
Oh my god! If he was trolling that would be fucking hilarious.
He's like, say my name 3 times, and I'll be in DBD. You say it, and he links it to you got debated on YouTube.
He links. It's never gonna give you up.
Yeah,
it's a Rickroll. All right, Joe. So you are in the rank 20 lands. Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. Joe, I know you are in the rank 20 lands. You came back to Killer. You were even in the PTB testing out the new maps. So as somebody that, you don't play, you watch it a lot, but you don't actually like sit down and play it the most. How are we feeling right now? when you finally got to play Killer?
So I'm in rank 20 land for Killer. Survivor, I'm like rank 8 though.
Yeah,
So I've been
yeah.
playing a lot. Killer and Survivor actually feel pretty fun right now to me. And like I've only been playing low rank Killer, so like I'm babying I'm killing babies. That's what I'm looking for.
That's a sentence.
Yeah. I'm
Just an
killing
average
babies.
day ending in Y. No big deal.
It's a lot of fun though. Like I've just been like enjoying myself. It feels like it's not as terrible to lose anymore because you either get like dominated immediately and then like it's a fast game, so whatever, or like you have a good game. So yeah, it's nice, and it's been nice because I have a lot of friends who are coming back to it too. So I've got people to play with more frequently.
You'll be getting more invites from me too, because I've just been so busy over the weekends. I haven't had time to really feller in any game. Like we had the one 2 weeks ago with Payday, and that was it. It's like you're going to be getting, if you're playing DBD, I'm going to invite you, Joe. You're getting them invites, man. You better be ready.
Hell yeah.
We need weekend warriors.
Hell yeah.
Wait for her to get back. But Frighten, what were you about to say? You were about to start talking right before I gave it to Joe.
Yeah, because when we start talking about Candyman, I can't help but like it excites me because it was one of those horror movies that wasn't like a super awful horror movie back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, so like it wasn't Jason, it wasn't Freddy, it was more middle of the road for people to get into, and man, I want the Candyman to have an ability called Swarm of Bees that blinds a survivor.
Oh, like a reverse BM flashlight. Go
no.
fuck. So if you get palette blinded, you're just like, okay, fuck you. You're
The
fucking
killer just
blind.
throws firecrackers.
I would love if a killer could only activates if you get palette blinded. If you get palette blinded, you can return it back to him. Hey, we bitch about Lightborn. Wait till killers start running the fucking reverse blind perk. We got Bunny Fang Man Hyper Bunny Fang in the chat, or Hyper Bunny Fang in the chat. Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, that didn't take long at all, huh?
If they don't do Candyman, it's a missed opportunity. New movie coming out, directed by the guy who did Us and Get Out. I mean,
Produced by. I'm gonna correct that. Produced.
yeah,
by.
produced by.
It's been a huge thing actually in the horror community with that, because every single news article and everything has been pushing it as Jordan Peele's movie, but it was a female director that did. Yeah, so of course film Twitter is like crying extreme sexism over it.
Wait. People are complaining in 2020.
What?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
We're
No,
all
I'm
stuck
just-
inside, so we have nothing else to do.
That's
that was what I
way
was
too
gonna
true.
say.
I've been taking these hour-long walks, and I swear to God, it's like mental recovery. So it's like, like you get the sunlight, you're like, yes, this is what it feels like to not stay inside your house. It's important to get outside during this, man. I can't stress. I know I say that every stream, but it's so important. Like, we may be indoors all the time anyway, even before Corona, but man, now more than ever, dude. Gotta go out. Dahlia, what about you? I mean, we kind of just already got on the subject. I figured you'd continue it with like DBD, It's always in the question of how can it continue? What licensing will they get? Will they do this? Will Corona affect their productivity? What do you think? Do you think you're going to see some Candyman? What are we at with DBD right now?
I want DBD to actually get the hell away from all of my licensed characters. I'm not gonna lie. I've been a little disappointed in the licensing since they got Ugly Freddy. So
I thought they did a good job on Stranger Things.
Stranger Things was really good, but Stranger Things I think only turned out as good as it did because they had the Stranger Things people directly involved in it. It's not like they just were handed the licensing and told to do, whatever within the contract. They were actually actively helping them, and I don't think you're going to get any other franchise to put in that much work, honestly. I think the Stranger Things people are a bunch of nerds, like all the rest of us, so they were happy to help, but I don't think.
Well, I'll bounce off what you're saying too about with Freddie with Freddie. Apparently, the guy, how they're mismanaging the license. The guy that was the face of Quentin straight up said, "Hey, I'll offer my services to make this better," and they just kind of were like, well, it's like, I agree with you to a point. It's like they've been doing the licensing well, in my opinion, but there's some very obvious choices they could have been making, and they're not. And that's where I'm kind of like question marking a little bit.
Yeah, especially like I know a lot of people really want Chucky in it. I never want them to go near it because now I have this huge thing that I don't think they'll get the Chucky we all want. They're gonna get new Chucky, and that's the only Chucky we.
Yeah, honestly, it probably just depends on the amount of money that's behind something, because you better believe that Netflix paid up big to make sure that that actually went well. Whereas some of these older franchises just probably just don't have the money to put into it as well, because it's a working relationship on both sides. So
Ring, ring.
One thing I want
Ring.
to talk about real quickly too that was brought up. In the PTV, someone actually found out it's very hard to notice, but Bill got updated facial features and all that. Meanwhile, Quinn still looks like a guy.
That's all he got though was updated facial features, right? Like the rest of him looks normal.
Yeah.
So does he still look like a gremlin or nah? Does he look like a gremlin in the PTB or nah?
Nah, Bill was the one who got updated. Quinn still looks the same.
I'm about to say screw this name mess because like Discord wants to shift around the cameras for any given reason. It's no one's fault. It's no one's fault. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
Discord's. Yeah. I'm just gonna probably say the names pop up anyway. See that the names just pop up anyway when I move my mouse. So I'm getting rid of the names, guys. Fuck this anyway. Shino, very sneaky introduction and a brand new father. I'm gonna need some introductions and I'm gonna need you to report the news, man.
For a second.
Oh, there's little Shino.
Give me that baby.
The newest addition
Okay,
to
Joe.
the Pizza Friday crew and the diner is little Ella Victoria Baby Bazu. Come on.
Oh, look at her
She
go.
learned to teabag it.
Almost. She actually knows how to headbutt, so she learned head on first, apparently. So,
I love it. She's growing up to become a toxic survivor, man.
yeah,
Mom
which
is
makes sense.
super
New generation, Jane. I'll accept it. I'm still gonna teach her sprint burst eventually, though. but
I got you on full screen, Shino, so you could. Yeah, there you go.
she's officially 2 weeks old today. Actually, you okay? She's 8, so she's just kind of chilling. She was a little cranky.
Well, to both of you, congrats. By the way, to both of. I don't know if she can hear me, but to both of you, congrats, man.
Yeah, she said congrats. But yeah, that's pretty much where I've been for like the past 3 to 4 weeks, actually. So honestly, I've been kind of like absent for the past few months, to be honest, but especially where I've been the last 2 weeks.
Dude, you held it under wraps. I remember, dude, I get back from Dahlia's and we're like, hey, let's play DBD with Shino. And then you're like, oh, by the way.
By the way, if it makes you feel better, I did the same thing pretty much with my dad and my mom. I was like, oh yeah, by the way, remember when I told you I wanted to come out before the like quarantine and stuff? Yeah, well, the reason why is I'm having a baby in like 3 weeks. So if you want to join me, that'd be great. I paid for her flight though, so she was cool. She was cool with it. Are you okay? What are you doing? Normally she'll like stare at the camera and stuff and stare at people, but I think she's just really sleepy today. She's hungry and tired. That's right. We took her to see her grandparents today. So she was like interacting with them and they were singing songs. So she's like super worn out from like interaction all day today.
Yeah.
You want to say anything, Ella? You gonna say goofy?
Oh, she is tired.
Yeah, she's like, I'm done.
So I'm milk drunk.
Yeah, she'll wake up in a little bit and start letting us know.
Shino's definitely got the new dad face though. Shino got that new dad tiredness. You can tell.
Oh man, I took a nap before getting her. Like, she's been during the day, and since I used to stream overnight anyway, I've just been handling the night shift, and so like I took like a 4 or 5 hour nap before coming in today while we were at the grandparents' house. I was like, I should be good. I couldn't find. I was looking for. To be honest, the reason why I'm late is looking for my pick because I haven't seen my pick in like 4 days.
Hey, Terrence left one of his over here, man. Too bad I can't just be like, here you go.
There you go. Right? Yeah. I was gonna make myself look pretty for you, but then I realized I'm fucking gorgeous anyway. So
Hey, yeah, man. I was gonna say, what you mean, get pretty?
yeah.
All right, Shino. So we were on the topic of DBD. I know you still play on and off. What are your thoughts currently, and what are your thoughts on the map changes, man? We need your thoughts on this.
I do want to say one thing before we get to that. As someone who I ain't past the bar, but I know a little bit. Just on the topic you guys were talking about with Quentin and stuff. I do know Quentin offered to have his himself put into it, which would have been really cool. Unfortunately, the big issue, because I actually do know Makoto actually reached out to him. He has no legal standing to do it. Well, he would be an issue if they wanted to do it, but they still have to get permission from the creators in order to use that version of Quentin instead of using their kind of fucked up non-Quentin distorted face. So in essence, had they wanted to do it originally, he could have blocked it, but he can't make them do it or give them permission.
Got you. Yeah. You can kind of tell too, when Dahlia was saying, when Stranger Things, they're nerds for their own product. They love they were in Fortnite and DBD, but you can tell when a creator's really strict. Look at Leatherface. We're not going to see a cosmetic for him. Look at Freddy. You can really tell when they. It's almost a blessing and a curse to get licensing sometimes.
Yeah, I was almost surprised when we got the Myers stuff that we did, but it only makes sense because they're using it to promote their new movies. But I was surprised we got anything from Myers, to be completely honest, because we remember how hard it was for them to even get Prestige originally.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they had to do a bunch of reversions and stuff.
Yeah. We lost that really sick bloody mask, dude.
Yeah, people don't know about that. For those that don't know, Myers, the P3 you see now has always been in the game. But right before they released them, there was it in the game or leaked? It was original.
It was basically leaked. Yeah, it was in the original code, but they had to swap it over they did.
And I mean, there was a ton more blood everywhere. It was so cool looking. And then they had the licensing got a hold of it and said, nah, we ain't doing that.
They let him just put one marker across his skin or something.
They don't want to ruin the trademark mask. So I'm going to let this one go kind of round robin because I know we do a lot of structured hey, you talk, now you talk, but fuck it, man. We all play DVD on and off. We'll let this one go round robin, interrupt each other if you have to. I'll work on not interrupting you guys. Just DVD. It just got literally, in a lot of other people's opinion, this next patch is probably, outside of Ruin being changed, probably the biggest balance tweak we've ever seen. I mean, over double-digit maps, completely either neutered, reworked, or holes put in the fucking shit. So what are your guys' thoughts? Have you played it? What are your concerns? What's the positives? Jump on in, whoever.
I mean, if I were to say anything, I'm concerned because I don't feel I still don't feel like Survivor. It's been a while since I've played at high rank, I'll admit. But I still don't feel like Survivor's that strong, especially comparatively. I haven't done enough rank 1 games. So I'm actually spending the month to get back to rank 1 and then just playing a month at rank 1 to see what it feels, which takes fucking forever to kill it. I'm half ready to pay someone else to do it, to be honest. But the big thing I've been concerned about is I knew there were some maps that were clearly way too strong. I rarely had trouble on those maps, but there were windows where it's I only never had trouble because there are windows that I understood I don't win here, so I'm going to catch them somewhere where I win later, which is is what it seems to be where most of their targets are. My concern is if they're gutting everything else and kind of making everything my concern is if they make all the pallets the pallets on Bedlam now. Where if that's the case, people are just going to, instead of try to loot me into something, are just going to immediately just beeline to the straight, the safest structure on the map because of how the maps have been set up recently. Is my only concern. Basically, my concern is neutering the maps that weren't that strong for Survivors as opposed to dealing with just the maps that were OP for Survivors, if that makes sense.
Maybe makes them more balanced a little bit, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess my goal is there's a lot of maps that needed to be changes. I'm hoping that they focus more on the maps that needed the changes and not on the maps that were for example, I don't think anyone would say not Sheltered Woods, Suffocation Pit. Is that no? What it? Yeah, it must have been too long. Not Suffocation Pit. It's a Macmillan map.
Cold Tower.
Smallest map. Cold Tower. Yeah, I don't think anyone would say Cold Tower is Survivor sided. But if they
when balance landing gave you the passive stagger reduction, maybe, but now that they made it to where you won't, in my opinion, I was shocked Cold Tower got touched nowadays anyway.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm surprised that a map like Killers have already said that's probably like one of the best maps for Killers, what they've used for like most of their competitive tournaments. So for them to like make that map worse for Survivors when Killers already said that was probably the strongest map in the game for them, kind of confused me and made me wonder like who are they getting like. I see that they're getting information about map changes, but I'm wondering who they're getting that information from.
It's
you know
good
what I mean?
to see them finally focus on what everyone agrees was the issue. Not perks, not this, not that, not powers. It was maps. And whether or not it's a step in the best direction or not, at least they're targeting it. So I'm happy about that as a general overstatement. Yeah.
Yeah. They're finally taking the non-riot approach where they actually listen to what the feedback people want. Hopefully they listen to Riot and do that too with fucking dodge timers. But
Dahlia, what about you? You're an up-and-coming Toxie, and you've been recently very much showing everybody when you duo with me that you're not very wholesome. So what's your opinion on these holes in the wall or, all the map nerfs or changes? We never even spoke about it off stream, what your honest thoughts on it are.
My only issue really with it has kind of been and I don't remember which map. I want to say it was one of the maps. It was one of the only maps when we were playing the PTB maps that even you said it seemed like they took it too far.
Wretched Shop got
Yes. I remember at one point in Wretched Shop, I literally, if you cut the map equally in half, literally half the map had 0 pallets.
Yeah.
Not like
Dead
really
zones are
wide.
a big issue in this PTB.
Yes, like it's not like they were really wide spaced. There was literally no pallets anywhere. Like you had to go to the other side of the map. And it's like that feels less like they're actually listening to feedback on the map changes that people could actively give. It felt more like they were just trying to eliminate chases even being a thing.
Yeah,
And it's like, that's what I'm hoping isn't happening. I don't want it to happen where they want it to go back to being hide and seek.
Yeah, which is kind of like one of my big concerns. Is I know you guys all love like the freaking car lot auto records, and I'm like, I actually hate that one the most. And it's not because it's always a bad map. And every time I ran that map, it was always a shitty generation where it was just like there'll be one side of the map, like it either there's too many pallets on the shop side or there's no pallets on the shop side.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like if you're up against any like half decent like hillbilly or something like that, unless you're inside the building, if you're doing the gens out there, you're just dead, which is like really irritating during like the insta dead Mori time frame and whatnot when this was like super prevalent for people and whatnot.
I'll tell you what I'm worried about going right off that's Rotten Fields. I've been saying Wretched Shop got the biggest nerf. They got like 4 different things they did to it. But Rotten Fields was already a scarce map, depending on your RNG and the iteration. But now, sometimes you're like, oh shit, it's okay. It's the old Rotten Fields. And then I played on it the other day on the PTB, and I just remember going, there's literally like one jungle gym in the whole map.
Right? I just kind of like picture like, where did they go? Like,
John Travolta.
They just like, what? Where they at? Turn into TI. Where they at though? Dude.
Now the map I'm worried may have gotten a buff was fucking Cowshed. We were looking at how the windows are spaced, and we're just like, this looks a little sketchy.
Could be abused. That was the one thing I haven't played on the PTB. To be honest, I haven't played too much DBD outside of the times I played with you. Like on rare occasions, people ask me to like join them and like I'll hop on. So I haven't tried the PTB yet to see what the maps are like, but I've been curious and like planning on hopping back into it. Right. Okay.
I mean, I would do. I mean, it's fun. DBD's been on an upswing in terms of fun. I mean, Bunny Fang kind of skews that a little bit, but
yeah.
I mean, it's not like Dahlia made me an entire 2 sets of GIF emotes on it. There it is. What about you, Frighten? What are your thoughts? I mean, because you're more like, fuck this shit. Who cares? I'm on Valorant now. But like, as somebody that watches,
actually just got a Valorant code.
Oh shit, Poggers.
Add me to this play.
But I remember Frighten comes in my channel and he's like, fuck DBD, I play Valorant now.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've never been huge on, meta stuff when it comes to DBD anyway. I haven't bought a DLC in like 2 years. I just play the game. So, if they start taking pallets and make it totally unfun to play Survivor, that will already kill any chance of me playing DBD, like even for like a sub day, because it's just like, man, that just doesn't sound fun at all.
To interrupt really quick, my friend that I used to play with Evilish way back in the day, Fright, and his name was Vincent. He said the same thing when they originally took out double pallets, because he played the game casually, so he doesn't want to min-max loops. He doesn't care to learn it. So he's like, well, fuck, if they got rid of the only thing I could do, which was throw pallets down, I'm done. He did the same thing you did. He's like, why am I...
Deuces. Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. No, that's basically what it boils down to. Like, if they start, like, if it gets so scarce to play Survivor, it's just they have to be aware of how difficult they're making it, because, I mean, like, there shouldn't ever really be an issue with Survivor queue times, because if you're having slow Survivor queue times, maybe just play Killer today. It's as easy as that. There'll always be killers as long as there are people who want to play Survivors, because eventually you're tired of waiting for queues.
Yeah, I mean, even I go to Killer when I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
I do it too.
That was something I was gonna say too. I was like, in my head, I'm like, I can't understand. Like, there's been days where I've gotten on where I've had like long queue times as Killer and as Survivor. And
Well,
I'm just
and
like,
Joe,
really confused
yeah,
by
and that should never be. It literally, that's like a, what is that, a logical fallacy? Because the way DBD works is the faster one side is, the other slower. So how is it slow on both? Yeah.
That is weird.
Well, it's like, okay, on the PTB, Wizrobe Joe, he was like, I'm waiting 5 to 10 minutes for a lobby. So then somebody else that I went against in the PTB was like, no, queue times are only a minute. And they were both the same rank. I was like, wait, what?
No, I was ranked 20 at Killer, remember?
Oh, that's right. You're right.
I did want to ask you guys one thing, because this is something that happened to me off stream while I was playing with Fighting. Like, me and Fighting were just kind of playing Killer while like chilling in Discord. Or was it Fighting? No, it was someone else. Whatever. I was in Killer Discord. While I was in Discord, I was playing Killer. Have you guys been getting those ranks? So I'm like rank 20 on Killer because I haven't played in forever. And so I got like a group of like rank 1 streamers who swore I was a hacker because they're like, there's no way you have legacy and rank 20, and just bodied all of us. And I'm like, no, man, I just got the game yesterday. A buddy of mine gave it to me.
What was that? I just bought the game. Yeah, I just bought the game 2 days ago.
Hey, I got it off the free week, and a buddy of mine said it was.
I got off the back of a truck real quick.
But now, have you guys been getting like a bunch of games where like you're getting like a rank, like a super high? I was wondering if this is happening to a lot of people.
I have a lot of input on this one since I literally am now. You know what I mean? Like I'm on the game all the fucking time. So I have a theory. There was a day, Angry Pug, myself, Puppers, and a bunch of other people, we were getting lobbies in PS4 servers. Literally, they were. So that glitch was going on. What would happen was no one was typing, and they'd have a little they'd have like a little globe icon next to their name. So that's how you knew. And you would ready up and it would kick you out of the lobby. You couldn't actually play. But what that let me know is, wait a minute, they might be working on cross-play. So I'm getting to my next point, which is you're not the only one noticing that. About a month and a half ago, I noticed my Killer was green rank, my Survivor's red. Now, if I was solo queue, I'd more than likely get red rank Killers with my red rank Survivor. But then Dahlia pointed it out. Me and her would duo. We're both red rank. Me and her would duo. Green rank Killer, green rank Killer, green rank Killer. Nothing but greens. So then me and Evilish duoed. She was purple. I was red rank. Green rank Killer, purple. So then I would play my Killer. That was green rank Killer, red rank, red rank, red rank, red rank Survivor. So I think anytime behavior touches anything with their matchmaking, it always causes catastrophe. I noticed this when they were about to switch to dedicated servers. All of a sudden, it kept throwing me in the Chinese regions. And I'm like, wait, what? 350 ping, 350 ping, 350 ping. Back when MLGA was a thing. So I think what's happening is they're getting the rumor. Vincent Vega straight up said they're doing it. They're trying to do Switch. I heard mobile, PS4, and Xbox One crossplay. And maybe because they're and that glitch, and combining what I just said about that glitch where you could get into a PS4 lobby, it shows you can do it. So maybe they're fucking with something, and that's causing matchmaking mayhem. Because I'm with you, Shino. Literally, my Killer's now red rank, and I'm getting purple rank Survivor, green rank Survivor. But when it was green rank Killer, I was getting red rank Survivors.
Yeah, I have a friend that he just got to green ranks on Killer, and he's just getting red ranks on Survivors all the time. He's like, this is bullshit. He's like, I just got here, and I'm just getting, like, raffle stomped.
It was like I was hard gate kept in green ranks, and then I was doing those Death Slinger streams. And all of a sudden, just I don't know what it is with Deathslinger. I resonate with him, but I'm red rank.
It's because he's bald.
Yeah, he's bald, and I'm not bald, man. It's my real hair. It's my real hair. I didn't go to Hans Wyman Hair Club for Men. Okay, so, but now that I'm red rank
This
killer
podcast brought to you by Hims. Brought like your story. Like
what you guys didn't know is it was a wig the whole time. Spicy, what are your 2 cents, man? Because like I think out of everyone here, you're the second most no life on DBD outside of me. I think, yeah, I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah, I pretty much don't have a life. But yeah, I'll
same.
I'll talk about the ranking first. 'Cause there was something I wanted to bring up about it, in which I noticed it too. A lot of funky matchmaking was going on because playing Deathslinger, I was doing pretty bad for a while, so I was kind of chilling green, purple ranks. I was getting a lot of red rank survivors, purple ranks. So I was like, it's a little bit high, but it's nothing I've seen the worst of. But it's definitely weird. I got to red rank killer finally because apparently I finally started getting good at Deathslinger. And I'm seeing a lot of just green rank survivors. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this?
That's what happened with me, Spicy. I'll give it back to you in a second. Last night, I played Deathslinger, and it was like I was in purple ranks. I was getting red rank survivor. I would get stomped, and then as soon as I got the red rank, I'm like, I bet you I'm going to start going against my solo queue teams. Sure enough, as soon as I got to red rank, it was like they were feeding me kills, and they were all green rank survivors. Anyway, I'll give it back to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and now a little bit about Deathslinger too before I go on and talk about the patch. It annoys me the most is when I get like the green rank survivors because they don't try to dodge you when you're gonna shoot them. So you get these really easy shots and you're like, damn, I'm doing really good. Go on next match, red ranks, whiff, whiff, whiff. And I'm like, fuck.
They know how to perfectly dead hard your harpoon. They'll juke left all game so you anticipate it, and the one time you do, they juke right.
They hit you with that IQ. They get that whole like, we'll set a trap for him. We're gonna juke left every time. And then the very last juke, when his no heads up and the exit gates are open, we're gonna juke that.
What I didn't tell you was I'm not left-handed.
Oh man, I was actually thinking, just like while you guys mentioned like the crossplay and stuff, just came into my head because I know it's not a part of PS Plus, but it is a part of Xbox Game Pass, and it's also, I think, if it's on Game Pass for Xbox, it means it's also on Game Pass for Windows. And I'm wondering if maybe they're not testing it for current gen, but maybe they're testing or messing around with stuff for the Series X and the PS5 when it comes out. Because if it's on Game Pass, then it's going to be available on the new Xbox when it comes out too. Because all of the games that are on Game Pass are going to be on the new Xbox when it drops. So I'm wondering if maybe that's what they're doing. Like maybe they're not so much trying to get it to work on old consoles, but just playing around with some of the stuff on the old consoles since it's still similar to prep it to be able to do crossplay if the next gen consoles are coming out later this year.
Somebody, and I think it was Pug, going off that, Shino, there's been rumors of maybe DBD Deadass is about to, because the DBD's proven, behavior's proven they can keep things under wraps. There's rumors DBD 2 might be on the way. I'm not confirming that, but that's kind of like what is kind of in the rumor mill is they're going to halt production and just wait for DBD 2 to do more stuff. That's the rumor I've heard.
I mean, it's been almost 4 years, right?
Yeah, 4 years. And the player base is literally the highest it's been in 4 years, which is nuts. You don't see this with games. Remember, this game was supposed to die within 2 months. When they surpassed when Behavior surpassed 1 million sales, they celebrated that because they didn't expect it to last this long.
Yeah.
Remember when Friday the 13th was going to kill DVD?
Yeah.
Remember when
Oh, man, we get into this every time.
DVD?
Here's what
Remember
kills
when
me. Sea of Thieves. I remember a lot of DVD streamers thought Sea of Thieves was the answer. Like, and I'm not saying anything bad against. I'm not saying anything bad about that game. I'm saying it was weird it was like we play an asymmetrical horror game. So this pirate MMO is going to be my next game.
Oh, remember what was that one game? It was like Atlas or something that came out.
Yeah. Oh, Atlas. We don't talk about Latless. We don't talk about Latless.
This is gonna be real. The only game that could have actually killed DVD was Deceit, and they fucked themselves up.
Oh yeah.
The only game that had the hype to actually pull it off. Just because, and it was only because they gave us guns. The only because of like who's like, instead of you guys knowing who the killer is, You don't know who the killer is, and you guys can all kill each other. You thought you hit an endgame lobby before.
That's one of my favorite insults I've heard a DBD streamer say is people only play Huntress mains if they suck at FPS because the survivors can't shoot back.
Well, you could say that about Deathslinger too now.
Sure.
Dude, I was playing Deathslinger off stream, and this dude goes, "You wouldn't last 2 seconds in the new Call of Duty." He wasn't wrong, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, you right though? Yeah, you right.
I love the new Call of Duty. It's great.
Yeah, they say it's fantastic. I've loved everything I've watched about it.
Yeah.
You enjoy getting sent to the gulag?
Fuck yeah, that's great. The gulag is awesome. Give me that second chance one-on-one. Oh, it's so fun.
Let's be real. That's all everyone ever wanted. Like, especially if, like, for whatever reason, say you and the person get killed at the same time, it's like 1v1 me, punk. I will smash you. And it's like immediately afterwards, just drops you both in the gulag. Like, say it now.
That's the hope that somebody maybe gets the better of you. Like, they're sitting in a corner, they kill you, your buddy pops them right away, and you both get dropped in that gulag. Like, what's up now? You can't hide from me now. Here we go. Let's do this.
Pop up like that colossal titan. Heard you were talking shit.
Hey, all I'm saying is when you gonna fucking fight me in Animal Crossing Battle Royale, bitch. First one to Tom Nook's shop wins.
I wanted to ask Cody, I don't know if you noticed it, 'cause I don't know if you left.
You got really quiet.
Is that better?
I'll turn it
Yeah.
up.
I don't know if you
turn it
caught
up.
it, but I was astounded when we played a DVD match recently. I think it was on stream, and there was a killer who like went on you like it was sad. Let's just say that. It was sad what happened to this killer. And then in the end game, they went F you. And they were like, go into a kill your friends right now, 1v1 me.
This was okay. Yeah, that was sometime last year. I'll never forget.
No, this happened just like a couple days ago.
No, it definitely was not a couple days ago. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and the guy was like, it was in the after game chat, and he's like, dude, you fucking. It wasn't a couple days ago because I know exactly what it was. It was a nurse, and he goes, dude, 1v or no. Was he some other killer and he told me let me hop on my main? And he's like, yo, I'll 1v1 you in custom match right now on my main. And I just went, whoa, dude, it's not that serious.
It happened again recently when we were playing, but you dipped on the chat.
Maybe, because, yeah, I have no recollection of it. I always remember that shit because back in the day, I'd be playing DDR in the arcades, and it would be like me, Terrence, and a couple other people. And dude, you would always, once every month, you'd have this guy walk in the arcade with fucking I Need a Hero or some shit playing in the background, and he would slam his 50 cents on the machine. I got next. I challenge you. And I'm like, wait, are we really about to have a DDR dance-off? Is this Grandma's boy? So, like, I remember that shit. So I must have dipped, Dahlia, because I would have loved to have seen that. I would have 1v1 you in custom match.
You picked the map.
You picked the map. I'll bring the flashlight. Okay, what's the stupidest time you've been challenged? Like, what? I'm asking everyone in here, what was the stupidest thing video game related you were ever, like, dueled to? I told my DDR story. What's the most ridiculous, like, I challenge you because you're not that good at this game? I know you all have a story at that, whether it's an MMO duel or a speed run of Mario. What do you guys got?
All right, so I'll bring one up. So I did talk about earlier, I was pretty big into CSGO. Had a couple of friends who are into it. Most of us are pretty potato at the game. I've got one friend, I think he's made it out of silver. I don't know how far he's gotten. He was pretty good at the game. And every once in a while, you know, he'd get upset or something. We tell him to chill. And he'd be like, 1v1 me right now. And I'm like, all right. I mean, he'd kick my ass. And I mean, he'd help me teach and learn how to play the game. But he would always pop off and just go 1v1 me right now, ops only or something like that.
Think it through, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you sure you want to do this?
Think it through, bro.
I think, I would say there's 2 times I've had a situation that was like interesting to me. One, I was at an anime meetup. Actually, it was an anime meetup here in Vegas. bunch of guys were like playing or whatever and talking trash. And like I was just kind of messing around, and one of the girls like who was playing gave me like their controller to take over from on Kirby. So like I died and I was playing like but I wasn't really like going hard. Like I was just kind of goofing off. And then afterwards, like one of the guys is like, "What's her face said you're supposed to be really good. Thought you went to Evo, Miles." I'm like, "Huh?" I was just kind of when you're just kind of like chill at the party, having a good time, and someone's like, "I thought you were supposed to be good." I'm like, "What? Who's he talking to?" Not talking to me, right? So after that, like immediately, I was just like, "All right, hold up." I just like I like the whole like you set up in the chair. I was like, "All right, man." I set up, I close out the other two players and then switch to Fox, and I'm like, "What's good?" It's just like all the other smashers knew exactly what was about to happen after he did that, but this guy was completely oblivious. But they're just like, "Oh." I was like, "Yeah, Miles was about to beat your ass." Like they all just kind of like got up, like unhooked their controllers after. Like, I'm not even mad he kicked us out of the game. I don't want to be here for this. But the only other time I did something like that is in sophomore year of high school. Me and my brother used to play all the time growing up. He stopped playing, so like I wouldn't say he stopped playing video games, but he stopped playing like Smash Bros and stuff like that, like console games, and became more of a PC head when I was still in because he got out of high school and stuff like that. And so him and his buddies would all start playing Smash or whatever. They had he had a country friend who lived in the middle of the woods with a bus in his backyard and just had a bunch of crazy country, all the scary stuff you see in scary movies of country people. They had all that shit. So
Hills have eyes.
Yeah. So they have like a giant TV, and they would all play Smash Bros. And same thing, like they used to like talk trash, to my brother because like I thought you used to be good. And so like when I flew out there, he's just like, "Oh, it's so cool." And he's like, "I thought you used to be good, Rush." He's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not here to beat you today. I'm here to send my brother." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "I thought you used to beat your little brother all the time." No, this is like right after. This is like when I was still in Evo, because this is like my middle school, high school days for me. So like we were still actually like competing. So I went in there. All these guys were like, "We're gonna beat your little brother." You were like hyping him up this whole time. It was by the end of the night, they were like trying to like 3v1 me, like not even like the unofficial 3v1 where it's like, "Oh, it's a free for all," but everyone gangs up on you. They were legit all three on team with team attack off, so they couldn't hurt each other.
Wait, so they didn't do a gentleman's agreement. They dead ass even turned off the team damage. That's just cheesy.
Yeah, they tried to do the gentleman's agreement. It just didn't work.
They kept running into each other. That's what happened.
So I was like, bruh, I just kept, they'd have the gentleman's agreement. I would like dodge something and it would hit somebody else and they'd get mad at each other. And it's like, I was like, all right, man. Like, get to see yourself. Those are like the two most memorable for me, at least.
All right, Joe, you've had to have had some stupid challenge, man.
So probably the only recent one I can think of is I was watching somebody play Hollow Knight again, and they were doing the Path of Pain, and like I was kind of jokingly like roasting them a little bit, like I was counting all their deaths, and then
oh yeah, you guys would never do that during Cuphead, or no, man?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Oh, no,
I don't know what you're talking about. What, you guys counting deaths? I'm not personally aware of this.
I mean, it's just even better when the game does it for you.
Oh man, go ahead, Joe. Anyway, man.
I was specifically counting their deaths on like the Path of Pain, which is like the hardest platforming challenge in the game. And then I was like, at the end of it, it would ended up being like 200 deaths or something for him. And he's like, yeah, whatever, make fun of me. And later on, when I was streaming it, he comes in and goes, "I'll pay you if you do Path of Pain." And I was like, no, like I don't need to do that. And then he's like, "Come on, man, like there's no way that you'll take any less attempts than I would." And I was like, "Oh, you want to bet? I'll do it for free."
Ooh, hit him with the free.
Oh,
I probably did it with like 20 falls in like half an hour.
I would hit him. The only thing free around here, fam, is you.
I like my duels like I like my water free. All right, Marilyn, what do we got? What's the stupidest? Hey man, duel me in this video game.
I mean, I've been dueled a bunch in WoW for sure. I saw Ampikins was saying basically the same thing. Just like I play a healer and then I'll just get some DPS class that wants to just like okay, cool.
Right.
And I just kite them and heal myself and go in circles. As a druid, just
the true
you-
way to win is to outstall your opponent. That's like the blue
Yeah.
magic deck. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get so far into like raiding, you get like infinite mana basically. You just go in circles and they can never touch you.
That was my favorite, was dueling any paladin in WoW, because they
Yeah, I
only
was
had
gonna
dude, back in vanilla they had paladin's keyboard consisted of 2 giant Fisher Price buttons, bubble, hearth.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So you would find a paladin out in a PvP area, and it was like, well, let's see how fast they do it. Bubble, hearth, every time.
Dog, every time. I would just, but the best part is like I would like when I would do it is like I would come back, kill you, then have you show up again and be like, later. Like just it's like the dude who just kind of fades away, the fade away meme, like later, dude. Oh man.
All right,
Oh,
Frighten.
yeah, man, I'm
what
head
have you?
out.
Yeah, there you go. Joey's gone. Joe's gone. Joe's gone. Joe's gone. We've lost Joe. We've lost Joe. All right, Frighten. What's a video game? Hey, man, challenge me, bro.
So back in college, I went out for an evening and got fucking lit. And I came back and I had 2 buddies that stayed in that night. So went and crashed their room and they were just playing Soul Calibur 2 together. And the one guy was just kicking the shit out of the other guy. So I just started riding him and just giving him hell, giving him absolute hell. He grabs a pillow, jumps on top, and he starts beating the hell out of me. He's like, pick up a controller right now! Beat me with a pillow. I had never played Soul Calibur before. I was just bored and drunk, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna give him hell. I'm just gonna give him shit about getting his ass kicked. I couldn't help it. And whatever, man. So he's so angry. I can't even tell you what I said to him, but I'm sure it was awful.
Yeah, back in the yeah.
I'm sure it was absolutely terrible.
The drunk filter, I'm sure it was great.
Oh god, yeah. Like so somebody got like so. I don't know if anybody here is into Myers-Briggs personality typing or anything like that, but I'm an ENTJ, and it took me a long time to get any sort of real empathy for other people. It did not exist when I was 19, 18, 20.
To be fair, though, like, even the most empathetic, like, teenager doesn't truly understand empathy, you know? So, I mean, you get a pass kind of for that. I mean,
yeah. So, like, I have no doubt that I was being an absolute savage to this man. And so, all right, whatever. So I pick up the controller and I'm asking the other guy, I'm like, who's good? Points me to some guy with a big ass sword. He's just like, I don't know, man, try that one.
Nightmare.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah. So I grab the controller and I'm like, so what do we do? I'm like, best of 3? He's like, fine. He's like, the guy's just like, he's grinding his teeth sitting next to me.
that's bad, man.
Having a bad day is what he was.
That sounds like the full 180 tilt right there.
He's so angry. And I just button mashed him to death 2 rounds in a row.
Oh, you hit it with the worst is when you think you're good at a game and you know the combos and you lose to somebody hitting some buttons.
You know, I'm just sitting there with my finger just back and forth across the buttons. And I didn't even say anything after I won it. I was just like, fun game.
I'll never forget.
GG fun chases.
I'll never forget my friend was playing Soul Calibur 3 at an arcade, and he was notorious for like spamming with Yoshimitsu. And some guy was egotistical, hot shot. I know the combos. I train at home on the home console version. He comes in and he's like, I don't believe in button mashing. It's newbie and you shouldn't do it and it's not proper. And my friend just looks at him and goes, well, then why does it work against you? And he just got so mad because he's like, well, it's not. He's like, if you're so good at the game, just learn how to counter my button mashing, forehead. He's like, it's not like I'm unpredictable. You know what I'm gonna mash. There's an art to selective button mashing. There's an art form to it.
Yeah, I mean, if it works, like I can Hadouken spam you, but only if I'm timing it right. Because if I just randomly throw it out, eventually you can just jump over it. But if I'm timing it right, then you just die because you don't know how to deal with like projectile spam. Just like any other type of button mashing. Which I miss Soul Calibur. Nightmare and Soul Calibur, by the way, was like so much. Wait, am I talking?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh,
You're good.
I'm like, am I talking? Yeah. I was like, wait, I like
Yeah,
looked
no,
at
this
one of the
this
things that I
new
was muted.
Discord video shit's got me tripped up too, man. I'm like over here looking constantly if we're muted or not.
Yeah, when he was talking about Soul Calibur, it reminded me of like just a random night at my friend's house where it was just some random guy was like, hey, like I'll beat you guys at this game, and like it was just always one of those things where like one of my buddies knows because I was I wouldn't say I was a gangster, but I just hung out with hood related folks in my youth, and on occasion, you know, we'd be having some non-hood related evenings, and someone would be like, I'm like the best at this video game. And all of my other friends knows that I'm not a gangster, that when we're not out, I'm at home on my Xbox, like going to in the video game club. So I just look over, it's like, yo, Miles, like, yo, show him what's up. Dude, this dude was like so mad the entire time. Called me out the Soul Calibur. I'm guessing it was 2 or 4, but it might have been 3. It was the one before Nightmare sucked. Because there's one Soul Calibur where they split Nightmare and Siegfried, and Nightmare was straight dog shit. It wasn't one of those 2. So my guess it was either 2 or 3, because I think 4 now that I think about it is the one they fucked up Nightmare. But like all I really remember about the night, because I like just wiped the floor of him multiple times. But all I remember is at one point, like he just like, yo, keep playing. I was like, I'm trying to go to sleep, dog. And I literally like laid down on the couch and started looking away. And we're just hitting like square, like hitting the like up, like the vertical combo and Nightmare just over and over again without even looking at this dude, just straight slapping him at the game. And he's just like I know he's mad, and I know that was mad disrespectful, but I told him I wanted to go to sleep, so I needed to make it clear he wasn't gonna beat me. I was like, bro, I was like, I'm not here no more. This game's over. Go to sleep. Go to church in the morning. See God. He's like, yeah, it just Soul Calibur reminded. Soul Calibur was like so many salty runbacks on that game, and I don't even know why. Like, I don't know why that game spawned so many salty matches for me.
I can tell you why, because people probably shit talk when they shouldn't be.
Yeah, probably it. That and you can knock people off. Like I think being able to like just outside of Smash Bros, there's like no other fighting game you can really just win by ring out. And I think just knocking someone off when they're about to beat your ass or like about to win is probably got to be like one of the most triggering things to deal with in a fighting game. But I don't know. I still didn't play the new one, but I still love that game. It's fucking evil fun. And Link is the most busted character ever. It was
because his fucking throw takes you 50% across the stage for a free ring out, dude.
Basically a fucking, what is it, a jockey from fucking...
Dude, when that game first got released and people had trouble fighting like the in-game AI, within the first couple days, everyone's like, well, you don't even need to be good at the game. Just pick Link and spam grab, dude, and it worked. He would literally spank you off the stage.
Yeah.
All right, Dahlia, what's the stupidest game duel you've ever been challenged to?
Probably the stupidest was when I was heavy into Mabinagi, which was like a Celtic lore based MMO, if anyone's heard of it. But there was like someone who I was dedicated to this game. My life was I was to Mabinagi what most people were to World of Warcraft. And this person had like not even a third of my gameplay time, but they were brought into the guild because they were dating someone in the guild.
Never
And
good.
just-
Never. Joe, look at Joe. Oh man, he's gone. He's gone.
Dude, they
He's
just
gone.
That's that shit
were-
I don't like.
Well, they were mad because before they were brought into the guild, their significant other was like high up in the guild, but they had given me one of my best pieces of equipment, and so she dueled me every day to try and win the equipment off me. And so I just spammed windmill at her. And I did it so much, I leveled up my windmill in the middle of one of our matches. And I was like, well, now I can hit you harder.
Demacia. I think it's Garen. Like I think spin to win. I either think Garen or Beyblades. It's Beyblade. Like, yeah. Sorry.
I remember I was playing Marvel when I was in my Marvel vs. Capcom 3 phase. I was always training at home or at like barcades and stuff where we had a fighting game scene. But then my campus opened up a little cool like rec area in the cafeteria where you could bring your own consoles for their monitors. And we were like, oh shit, we could play Marvel over there. So I remember we're sitting in the cafeteria playing Marvel versus Capcom, which was pretty surreal on college campus. And of course, here come the the fighting game bros that maybe they've played Street Fighter like Marvel for like 2 minutes. They're like, oh, you play? Oh man, this is my game, guys. And they would sit down with me, and I'll never forget this one guy. He was talking all this shit. Yeah, this is my game. And he goes, here, watch, I'm going to challenge this guy. And he, taps me on the shoulder. I'm like, yeah, you can go ahead. So, we versus mode, and he picks his team. And I remember I win the first round. It was best of 5. So I won the first round. I won the second round. And then on the third round, my friend walked up, and he walks up to my side. The screen's on my right. My friend's on my left. So Marvel, for those that don't know how it works, the combos can be pretty formulaic. Like you can just, as long as you have the rhythm of the combo down, you don't even need to look at the screen. Because the way Marvel worked was, if you got one hit, it allowed you to pretty much play a cutscene.
Yeah.
So I remember I'm stomping this dude, and I'm already up 2-0. And he's like, I got this. I literally look away from the screen and talk to my friend as I'm doing an infinite on him. And he just goes, what the fuck? And he just took his controller and walked out. I'll never forget that. He was just like, because I literally just went, oh, so anyway, how are you doing? What'd you have for breakfast today? Combo.
Like, yo, what's up, dog? Yeah, what's good? Yeah, I'm gonna be there, dog. Like,
It reminds me of that viral video of the Gaston actor at Disney World, and this dude challenges him to push-ups. And so Gaston goes, hey, you look like you need some help. Do you need a hand? And he starts doing one-handed push-ups.
That's like her favorite Disney World video.
I love
So
that
good.
one.
Dude, some of those Disney World actors, holy fuck, man.
Bro, they're on enough. They're on one, bro. I didn't even like this time, but I had to, bruh. That was legit. I had to give it to. Oh man.
All right, we need to awkwardly segue into another topic. Dahlia, you seem pretty passionate about this one, and we got Shino here, which we always seem to have good debates about this. So Dahlia, we know what you want to bring up. I'm gonna let you introduce this next topic.
I have a very strong feeling we're referring to the new Twitch appearance guidelines that got put out.
Boy.
I'm assuming that is the topic we want to bring up.
Which I want to point out, it was literally brought on by major streamers doing VR chat, which I think is hilarious. Anyway, go ahead.
Honestly, no, that to me, the knowledge that the VR is what triggered it threw me off so much, because for the last, it feels like the last 6 months, the biggest upset I was hearing was from all the body paint streamers, because tons of body paint artists were getting their channels banned for nudity when they would start their stream with their chest already painted.
Which is what the general idea, to my knowledge, what a lot of body streamers are doing recently, was just making sure they started with at least their chest painted. And I watched was it Ari and Nina, and another one I watched pretty close to this, just to get a better idea of what was allowed and what wasn't allowed. But they would also get in trouble if they were just kind of sitting there for too long, not painting themselves. Apparently, that was something they weren't allowed to do.
Yeah, they were getting in trouble for they were engaging with their fucking chat.
Yeah, basically.
They were sitting and holding conversations with chat, and we're getting in.
Well, now apparently you can't even paint nudity, not etchy, nothing. You can't paint. What if someone asked what in the TOS? It specifically has an example. What if I want to paint a fictional character that's I forgot how they worded it.
Non-sexual, basically.
Naked but non-sexual, and they're like, no, we could. And Twitch admits it. They said no because it's too vague. Twitch has trouble being Twitch admitted they have a shit system right now, which is kind of cool, but.
Essentially, their stance was they don't have because we do have children on the platform, and we don't have a way to mark it as educational or mature. We don't have a way to mark that we can't have it on the platform, basically. Which, I mean, if you want my thoughts on the new release, everybody asked them for to be clear, and this is what you asked for. It may not be what everybody wanted, but this is exactly what they asked Twitch to do. They said we wanted to know exactly what we could wear. They said all forms of cleavage is fine. No underboob. No bulges or camels or
No
anything
direct
like that.
knuckles.
Moose knuckles.
Yeah, no moose
What if I can't
knuckles.
help it?
Hey, listen, you gotta put those away, bro. No bulges of any kind.
Hey, wait a minute. I've
You
been
gonna say
meaning to
dollar?
ask. Does anybody hear that water dripping? Oh, sorry, must be these pipes. Anyway, go. I'm just.
What you were saying, Dahlia?
No, I was gonna say I actually loved that they put this out because exactly like you said, Shino, everyone was just like, "Well, what does that mean? What is the it's not specific." It's like I don't think they actually change. It didn't seem like they changed any of the rules. They just actually clarified them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which
that's
everybody's
what
been asking, please. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want this or that. We just want clarification. It doesn't matter how strict it is. Can we just know what it is?
Exactly. And it's not even that strict. Like, it's understandable. Yeah, no underboob because I mean, you're not being subtle with underboob on what kind of content you're creating. Cleavage should never be that big of a deal. Underboob, I feel like, is a big deal just because it's skimming so close to possibly showing nipple, which is obviously not allowed. And I like that they're specifying the context instead of just saying, you know, context matters, accept it. They're specifying what context it is that allows these things like body painting and things like that. And
They also made it clear that like sheer see-through tops are not allowed as well. We're both
Yes.
guys and girls, so we can't wear
And,
no
like,
more of our sheer
absolute-
muscle shirts.
Oh, man.
No more sheer jerseys.
Oh, man.
the no bulges
Yeah.
actually had me laughing because all I thought was, like every single male streamer who's done the diva bodysuit stream, and I'm like, none of those will be allowed
Dude,
if your camera
amount
shows
of
any
fucking-
of the rest.
The amount of fucking, like, there's these fitness streams that were doing like cardio and bike shorts, and you can see the whole banana hammock,
yeah,
and you're just
bruh.
like, bro,
It's like,
shamelessness.
Listen, man, I'm here for the workout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Helping
Yo, can I
these
get some
ladies get
fitness
these
tips, man?
gains, you know.
Trying to
About
work out, having people
fitness.
see these
Bro, how
nuts.
much
And,
is-
I'm fitting this whole thing in my outfit, you know what I'm saying? You know, all about that fitness. She know what I mean. She knows what I mean. She knows what I mean.
I actually want to address chat. Cleo, for real though, it's kind of already being exploited. The Patreon angle right now, what streamers do is, since you can't link to like your OnlyFans or your MyFreeCams, what streamers have been doing is they link to their Twitter because their Twitter can link to those sites. So that's already being exploited. They're already out here doing that shit. I know a DVD streamer, every tweet of theirs, new OnlyFans, new Patreon, new this, and I'm like, do you even like play the game anymore? I'm not getting into that. I'm not shaming that. But what I'm saying is, yeah, that's already being exploited now. You have the whole, well, it's not linked on my Twitch, so it's a little, but yeah.
We'll see where that goes. That'll be, especially like with everyone being locked inside, it'll be interesting. I feel like OnlyFans is only taking off because people can only have OnlyFans.
Yeah, they're saying that nude
outside.
DMs are like at an all high time.
Yeah, it's like you can't go to a strip club anymore, except for quick side note. So you guys know I live in Vegas, right? Right. So
The mobile ones.
so we have a strip club out here called Little Darlings. It's always been my favorite strip club in town. It's probably one of the best strip clubs just because there's no alcohol, so the girls have to actually be entertaining, and like they're always doing some crazy shit, like some crazy scheme. So Vegas got put on lockdown where like all non-essential business had to close, and so Little Darling said they were staying open because they deemed themselves an essential business in this time of crisis. Obviously, people are upset about this because you're not allowed to like be around and there's physical touching and blah blah blah. And it's like, actually, we have a solution. So those cars you'd see, the billboard trucks that people would drive around town or whatever that shows like a billboard on each side. You probably see them in Vegas or other places. Sometimes in Vegas, usually there's naked girls on them, but in other places, usually it's like internet or whatever. What they did is they attached a stripper pole inside one of those and put 2 glass windows on each side, so people could drive up and do like drive.
So we talked about this last week, dude. And no, dude, I think it was either Cleo or Marilyn. Somebody shared an image of it in the group DM chat, and I had to be real careful not to screen cap it.
Oh,
Bruh, I'm just saying.
Hey,
go
you know,
chat
I'll
real
say
quick.
this. If there's one positive of this Corona lockdown, if there's one positive, it's looking at how ingenious people
Innovative.
get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, what was
There's innovation going on.
Dude, they said like, dude, you got like strippers doing, you got strip clubs doing delivery, strip service, and drive-through service. You know, get some drive-through titties or drive-through bulge, and then you can go home and get some Indian food, and they put toilet paper in the bag. And then alcohol companies are now making hand sanitizer. It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's
Necessity is
we've
the
come
mother
so
of-
far. Sure, this is true. The mother of innovation.
Yeah.
But I thought that was fucking hilarious to me. I was just like, wait, what? Why though? Like when I heard them say it, I was one thing, but the fact they had it set up the next day, I was like, why though? Sorry.
By the way, I'll wait till she gets back. I said try to limit turning your cam on and off, but now that I don't have to worry about the name templates, it don't matter. It's kind of weird when one of you turn your camera off, it decides to shuffle everybody. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, well, I thought we were going to get a little more, I guess, debate happy on this subject, but no, I kind of agree with it too. The whole Twitch OS. I just still giggle because it didn't come around when people wanted it to last year when the whole, like breastfeeding on Twitch thing was a hot topic. No, it came around because of VR, chat. I don't know why, but that's so funny. It's just like it took VR to do it.
It was a combination of like VR chat, Project Melody, because there's a clause in there specifically that was specifically targeted at Project Melody and her like VR, saying that she couldn't have underboob or certain things set up for it. But it also says they're not responsible for what people are wearing in VR chat, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that one was. Yeah, if you want to elaborate on that.
So, well, I mean, essentially, it was so like for a project. I don't know, for those guys who don't know what Project Melody is, she's basically.
I'm gonna quick AFK, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. She's basically an AI or like a Hatsune Miku. She's an AI cam girl from Chatterbait who started a Twitch account recently. So she basically comes on Twitch, just kind of does her normal, like the same thing you'd see in just chatting streams, but instead it's a anime girl instead of the normal just chatting girl or just chatting dude like Canute or something. But the big thing there was like the reason why is because they're saying you're basically not pretending, you're an AI person, but how do I put this? Imitating your movements because however the camera setup is imitating your movements. What you do, you are still responsible for, and then what your avatar is wearing, you're still responsible for. However, for anyone playing VR chat, and they're basically giving the same nudity guidelines for people playing, like interacting with other people in VR chat, as they would for, say, people having like nudity in like GTA or Witcher, basically, meaning as long as it's within game regulations, meaning someone naked runs across you in VR chat, you won't get in trouble. As long as you don't make it the focus of your gameplay in your stream to chase that naked person, basically, I guess. But it also means kind of weird because they say it falls under the same guidelines as like game sex. So if someone's having sex in VR chat, as long as it's not the focus of what you're doing, kind of like if it's in a cutscene, kind of like how like Witcher people can have sex or whatever, or like GTA people, there's hookers and stuff. As long as it's not the focus of what your stream is, they don't care, and it's okay to do. Which I think is really fucking weird, but whatever. I guess the important things is that people have tapes on their boobs before they paint themselves, which is funny because within one day of Twitch making those new guidelines, there's another body painter who got banned today, even though she pre-painted herself and already had tape on nipples before she went live.
Didn't they say though that the rules were going to go into effect immediately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And under the new rules, she was fine, but apparently she already got banned. Yeah, that's like what everyone's talking about on Twitter right now.
Because I was gonna say, because body painting is explicitly stated to be an exception.
Yeah, to be acceptable, basically.
Yeah, like
Here's
I
the
think
thing, though. There are people body painting, and they are fucking dog shit at it. They are dog shit at it.
How are they supposed to win?
True.
Listen. I get what you feel, frightened, but I feel that same fucking way every day I watch people play Survivor and DBD, all right?
Oh my God,
like if I gotta
dude.
watch these motherfuckers like miss 18 skill checks and fucking not know how to body block.
Crouching in the fucking
Like,
corner.
you gotta deal with these motherfuckers who can't draw a smiley face, all right?
No, it's not the same thing.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
it's
it
not the
is.
same
It's the
thing.
same
No,
thing.
I will agree. It's not the same thing because if you're bad at Dead by Daylight and you're streaming it, people won't watch you. But if you're bad at potty painting, people are still watching that because you know why.
I mean, guys, this
Man
isn't new.
knows.
I mean, there's lots of
No,
those
actually, I'm here for the
different-
artistic genuine. Okay, I'm here for the genuine artistic ability.
but
Sorry,
you can still
Dahlia,
be
go
bad
ahead.
at
I'm
Dead
here
by
for the
Daylight.
ball. I wanna see
You
her
just gotta
improve.
say
You
you're
don't know how to
mean.
dance.
Listen, I have to confess, I don't believe everyone who watches DVD streamers watches them for their skill.
I was about to say you can still be terrible at DVD.
Well, Shino,
and get
Were you
views.
there for my
You don't have to
presidential
be good
address?
At games to
I
be
must have missed
entertaining
that.
either.
Okay, so I was streaming one time and someone said Cody for DVD president. So I did this whole bit where I was like, rule number 1, every blah, 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 blah. I had 10 lists. I had a list of 10 things. I said one of them was, if you are a streamer of DVD with over 3-digit viewers, you are responsible. If you're a meme streamer, you must do, what was it? You must play tryhard once every 3 matches. And my theory was, I still stand by this theory, since streamers are so influential to their audience, if all you do is meme around and suck at the game, you're teaching people it's okay to do that in solo queue. Now, there is time to joke around and meme, but not every game. So that's,
Right.
as DVD president, I decree you must try hard once every 3rd match. I just wanted to see you
Listen.
try to run a killer. That's all. Just try to run a killer.
The
I
only
wanna see you
reason
try to
why,
go on the gym for the entire
right?
duration.
The only reason I was mad is like I was in like Haxy's chat or something, and he's like, I wish that Noob would come back to the game because he always puts on these dumbass builds that everybody thinks is good. It's just like everybody's using fucking sprint brace again.
Oh,
He's like,
self-care.
yeah.
Noob 3 was the reason everyone was on self-care again without botany knowledge. Because
Yeah.
self-care botany knowledge is legit still. I'll fight to the
And
death
then,
on that, but
My man was legit on stream. He's like, I heard he did a video using like spine chill and
83%.
resilience. Please make another video like that. He's like, I've had 2 people in my lobby with it. And it's like, and that shit is dog shit on dedicated servers.
Yeah.
He's like, I need
No.
everybody using that shit.
dude, there was a hit that went through. I was resilient and spine chill, and I was way ahead of the killer, and he still hit me. And I'm like, I don't want to know what that looks like without these 2 vault perks. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Dude,
I don't know anybody that's like, yeah, dedicated server good. This was good. Everyone seems to be back to, man, give me peer-to-peer, dog. MLGA was the king. Give me back
Right.
peer-to-peer. I'm of the same camp. Give me it back.
I miss that that week that fucking wake up was broken. That was great.
15% across the board, dude.
And then
Bro, that
you
was-
just ran resilience and spine chill. That was like 30% extra.
My man,
vault
I
speed.
was like what was it?
Yeah,
Like,
spicy was
I was like
nuts.
Mirror's Edge on that map, dog. Like,
Yeah.
I
I remember Dahlia. That was Dahlia.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
Dahlia was like around the wake up bug. She was starting to come into her own with like in terms of not being a killer main anymore. And I
Mhm.
remember that was her first
You mean a
taste
Freddy
of,
man?
Oh yeah. Well, that was her first
Freddy
taste of like
fucking
using
boring.
a bugged perk, and she got evil with it, man. She was like, to this day, she's like, I miss that wake up bug.
Bruh,
I mean,
it
I
was
don't
so
know. I'm really
good.
shocked by that. I used to play Freddy with Noed and Blood Warden. That was my regular build. I don't know.
Previous, we're talking non-buffed Freddy too.
I remember. I'm pretty sure I went in your stream and you had knockout on once. I was like, all right, guys, we gotta go now.
Yeah,
But it
Dahlia
was
definitely
close.
had knockout on one time. Mhm.
We gotta go. This is like, listen, I'm feeling bad already. I've gotten sick. It's a little toxic. I gotta some shit in the air. I gotta get some sleep. I'll see you guys later. Stream.
By the way, you guys can turn your cam. Dahlia, you were AFK when I said this. You guys can turn your cams on and off now since we got the auto name thing here, so you're fine. Yeah, if you need to go AFK, you can just turn your cam off. It's not a big deal.
I will do that.
Yeah, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure because like it was only an issue when I had the nameplates, but now that it does it for us, which is kind of nice actually.
Mm.
Sorry, we're marveling the new Discord. It makes it easier on me because I don't have to make 17 different sources. I can just now monitor capture. It's very nice, actually. This is nice.
He says that now.
Until I get sick of it.
Lazy,
Yeah,
don't
it's like
believe
then when like the Japanese anime titties fly everywhere. You know,
Completely unrelated note. Can I just say, Shino, I have a much deeper respect for YouTube anything because all I've been doing I spent a whole week 2 weeks ago just simply changing thumbnails, changing the description with that copy paste, putting hashtags in, and maybe editing a title or two and putting them in the playlists. That's all I was doing. I spent 5 days, all 5 days, each day, 2-hour sessions. And all I was doing was making it look pretty. Yeah. So I just wanted to tell you, since you do my videos, I have a newfound respect for that shit. And I don't even edit the videos, man. I'm over here like, God damn, this takes for like you lose track of it, and you're over there editing videos, putting thumbnails in. You're like, oh my God, it's like 5 p.m. I got to stream in an hour.
Right? Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the real issue is that there's just not enough hours in the day.
Yes.
And just like you'll be like, fuck, I was gonna do this video, then I'm gonna upload this video before going live, and I'm like, it's gonna take me like 20 minutes to upload this video, and I'm supposed to be live in 15. Like, fuck. And then it's not even gonna be rendered yet, and then I have to double check it. Then I realize I fucking rendered something wrong. Like there's like a nameplate wrong in the video, and I'm like, fuck.
I've done like a total of 1 edit for an entire video I made on DVD. It was back in 2016 when killer bots are still a thing. I made a video on it for like a friend's YouTube channel. Doesn't exist anymore. But like all it was just some gameplay with some captions tagged on it. Fuck, that took like 5 days in it alone just to edit that. I don't think I ever want to do that again.
Dude, just simply going, I'm so lazy. Just going back to like my Resident Evil S rank run. Just simply highlighting it on Twitch and then header here, export to YouTube. That takes for fucking ever, and I lose interest. So like editing a video, man.
Yeah. Then like depending on like what quality you're rendering in, how like I'm trying to get a new PC. That's like my new goal. I'm like talking to companies like, yo, who's trying to hook it up with a PC? All right, like this shit just takes away. And there's no quick way to render the video. That's the biggest problem. It's like.
You're always held to it.
Yeah, there's like a 15-hour period where like your computer's just gonna be at 97%, and it's like you could maybe do something else. You could also crash it and ruin the entire project. How ballsy are you feeling? I play League of Legends every time I render a podcast though, just to like prove that I ain't no bitch. But but like I haven't lost a podcast yet, but I'm sure my computer's like one of these days.
Okay, real talk. Anybody? I know I'm loading this question because Sheena's going to agree with me. Anybody miss hatch standoffs on DVD? Am I the only one? Hatch standoffs? Come on, man. They were a test of mental fortitude.
I was going to say, I only miss them now just because hatch standoffs are just so killer-sided now. Because unless you just find the hatch, you're fucked if a killer can even knows.
Yeah, if the killer even knows who the hatch is, you lose that, which is really irritating.
And then you gotta play the coin toss game of, do the exit gates spawn too close to each other?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite, the coin toss. Yeah.
And then you gotta play another coin toss of, does the killer go to your exit gate first?
Yep. You have like triple factor authentication on the doors. Does the killer know where hatch is? Do you get bad door spawns? What's his vision to the doors? And does he go to my door first? Oh man.
Like 90% of the time when people are just like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, it could be really hard for killer. And I was like I've even watched killer streamers do this where I'm like, in my head, I'm like, just go to the top of the hill, dude, and just stand there. Like, it's like, I made an entire, I made an entire fucking YouTube video about this. Like, it's the easiest fucking thing. It's like a 9 out of 10 maps. There's like some spot where you can go that'll give you a sight line of both doors, and they won't be able to open it. And if you have whispers, you can immediately just decide which door they're at and be like, all right, I'm just gonna look at this one. Like, where you going? You're gonna come eventually. Like, there's nowhere else to go.
Now you can multiply this, and this is my favorite with Death Slinger, because now you're on top of the hill, and you don't even gotta move. You can just shoot the door. Boom!
Yeah, you play hundreds. You throw tanks. So
you throw beluga whales. It's fine.
But it's
so I know I'm in the minority, but dude, maybe it's just because obviously I'm a little shit. If that's not clear by now, guys, hold on to your seats. I like BMing. Hold on to your seats. I don't know if it's just me being a little shit, but part of me loved hatch standoffs because I'm one stubborn, ornery son of a bitch. I loved testing people's resolve because these people out here do not understand. And chat, you don't understand because I'm not allowed to fully show it on DVD. You don't understand how petty I can truly get if I want to. And hatch standoffs were amazing for this.
She knows how petty I can get.
Yeah.
Dahlia.
Oh, Dahlia knows.
Yeah, like she's had a lot of conversations about me being petty. She's seen stuff from my friends and stuff. But like,
There was something about like the hatch and the killer standing there and he can't do anything about it. And then I'm standing there and I'm like, do something about it. And then you sit there for 3 hours and they don't understand. I'm willing to do that and I'm having fun doing that. And I don't.
Right? Like I'll never forget. And neither of my stream. I'll never forget the time I called out of work for a hat standoff. I told this man.
No, tell this story because there's a lot of new people in my chat. You need to tell this story. No, you guys, if you have not, okay, so I'm going to preface this. I'm going to let Shino go after this. So, hatch standoffs, for those that are newer to DBD, back in the day, there was no in-game collapse. If I'm at the hatch and the killer's at the hatch, nothing can be done. If I jump in the hatch, he'll yoink me out. If he hits me, I get a free hatch escape. So what would happen was killer and survivor would just literally stand at the hatch. And there's an infamous one with Slick Foo that was 2 hours. I won't mention the other streamer, but it was I woke up in the middle of the night to go to work and I see Slick Foo at a hatch with a killer who's another streamer. They're both in each other's chats talking shit. It was epic. This is why I miss it. It caused drama. Right. So that was a 2 hour hatch standoff. I'm gonna let Shino take it away if you want to know about petty.
So what happened was, this is actually a little bit before Slick Fools. Why I knew about Slick Fools, because when it happened, everybody called me to Slick Fools. I was at work when it's like, yo, Slick Fool needs your help, Shino. It's like he needs some advice. And I'm like, yo, I got you. But so what happened was, I was playing a specific stream. It was a small streamer. But it was he wasn't like really a streamer, but he was a scumbag. He was like a known scumbag in the community. Like when DS came out, he was a killer who like got put on Reddit for slugging a bunch of other streamers instead of just letting them bleed out because he didn't want to deal with the original DS or whatever. So during this guy like super sweat the entire game for me. He was an Insta-Saw Hillbilly, old school Insta-Saw Hillbilly, like which is way faster than the current Insta-Saw Hillbilly. For those of you guys don't know, it's like, I think it was like 0.23 seconds or something. It was mad dumb. My man was camping the hook. I got the first save, camped the second hook till death, and then we like still got like 2 or 3 generators. Then instead of killing the last guy who wasn't doing shit for our team, he bled him out and then tried to use him, like follow him around to use him to give away where I was. Because at the time, when you went in the lockers, it didn't hide your aura, so your teammates could still see where you're at in the map. And so tried to use the other survivor to find me. This is on old school Hattonfield. It's a much different map than what's today. And after juking him, I was in the House of Pain, went from one side of Hattonfield completely to the other side of Hattonfield, juking him while he had an instant chainsaw. We got all the way to the other side of the map where the hatch was, where you walk up the stairways, one of those little houses in Hattonfield where you walk up the stairways and there's no way out of the stairway. And the hatch is at the end of it. So basically I get to the hatch and we just stand there. And he's basically body blocking me in. So even if I wanted to leave, I couldn't leave the area. So we just stood there at the hatch for at first it was like 45 minutes. Then I was like, listen, I'm not going nowhere. You can tell him he's not going nowhere. And he's like, well, he says he won because he beat your team. He's like, nah, fuck that. You tried to cheat. You tried to work with other players. You were camping. And I still got 3 gens. And I juked the fuck out of you. Like, across map with laser chainsaw. I ain't going nowhere, dog. So we sat there for like 45 minutes. I was like, whatever. I'm chilling. You chilling. It's cool. Sat there for like another 2 hours. And then like at about the 2.5 hour mark, the DVD devs, like some of the community managers, come to both of our streams and tell us to stop. And then it's like, hey, listen, like you guys can't be doing this. It's like, listen, I was like, I can't leave. I'm body blocked. And it's like, so, and he's like, well, he says he won. I don't care what he says. Like, if he won, then kill me. If he can't kill me, that's not my fault. Like, so then it's like, I'm not holding the game hostage. He's holding the game hostage. I'm body blocked. I can't move. And so there's like, well, just walk down the stairway if he backs up. He's got an Insta-Saw. I won't make it anywhere. And the other problem too was, and this was like the real kick of this one, because this was old Haddonfields or shitty hook spawns, even if he grabbed me, because he tried, I would wiggle out before he only place he could take in his basement. I would wiggle out before he could make it there. So we had 2 different times where he grabbed me, and then like, cause we were just fucking around and grabbed me, I wiggled out and went all the way back there, and I would just sit there and heal in front of him. And we used to start jamming out to music or whatever. I think it was like one of the first times I broke 100 viewers without getting any hosts or anything too. So we just had like people coming in. The developers were like, you guys need to stop this. I'm like, listen, you tell him to stop. Like, I'm already here. And so afterwards, I'm like sitting there streaming. I was like, listen, dog, it's like, I ain't got to work until like noon. It's like 3 a.m. Like, I'm good for like another 8 hours. And so he's on his stream. He's like, "What? He's got to work at noon?" And I was like, "Oh, don't even trip." It's like, I can stay here for 8 hours. I ain't worried about it. And so they came to his stream. Like, they said he's cool if you wait in the 8 hours. He'll wait till you have to go to work. I was like, "Oh yeah." So like 6, it was like a little bit longer came along. And so I called my manager on stream. I was like, "Hey, yo, Doug." He's like, "What's up?" I was like, "I'm not coming in today." It's like, "Why not?" They were just like, "Check my stream." He's like, "All right." And so I'm just like, bullshit. Eventually he gave up because like everyone in the stream was just like, "Yo, like he's won. People are going to his stream. He's getting subs. Like he's got more viewers than he's ever had. Like all you're doing is doing him a favor by keeping this going." And eventually he just gave up. And I was like, "All right." We started playing like I think we played a fairy tale opening theme for it actually as like victory song. It was great. But I was like, I just told people like, "Listen, man, like I said I had 8 hours. He said he had 8 hours. I said I had 20 hours of sick time." I wasn't losing the standoff.
Back when hatch standoffs were like really relevant, everyone was going through their own. I see people in chat talking about their own standoffs. Everyone was like, "This is why it needs to be removed." But I don't think people understand, Chino. Like people like me and you, there's a sense of pride in that. Like I am petty enough, I will sit here doing nothing to out nothing you. Like,
yeah. Like I'm gonna like no. I always tell people like I hate drinking beer, but I don't lose the game of drink. Like, so if like that's the like if beer is the choice, I'm not gonna not drink the beer. I'm not gonna lose. This is like I don't like beer, but I hate losing more. So like, you make your choice. That's why
the best was always the hatch standoff, but you had the old DS. So you hop in that bitch and they grab you out. Ting, click, and bye, bitch. Oh man. I almost missed the old school broken shit just because it made the game feel like Looney Tunes sometimes.
But that game.
But man, when you get that end game play though, and you got that DS to proc off at the exit gate, because like, "Yeah, I got you, bitch." You didn't make it out in the end game.
Narrator, no, he didn't.
I'm out.
Bro, that was like the best when you could actually like legit run someone for 5 gens and then have adrenaline pop. That was like why that was why we all wanted DS. We were just like, I styled on this kid for 5 generators the entire game. He chased me. And then he gets a lucky no-head swing right at the exit gate. That's bullshit. And everyone's like, what if we had a perk that lets you stab the killer just once? So when he caught you that one time, you could get out. It was someone's Reddit post that made that into the game. I don't know who you are, but thank you, random survivor. You ruined the game and made it better for all of us.
Dude, I still enjoy doing that. I have no shame in admitting that.
Oh, my favorite's when I go, I'll legit DM her. I'm like up her ass. I'm like, "Dahlia, what do you do?" And then I'll literally, as she does it, I'll type, "Oh," because she'll do this thing where she's purposely not leaving, or she'll do something, and I'm like, "Why did she do?" And then I'll see the obsession thing cover her character portrait, and I'm just like, she's getting addicted to DS. Those were the days though. Back, I miss killers juggling. I miss basketball players. Fucking Leatherface going for the 3. Fuck yeah, dude.
Alley-oop onto the hook.
Alley-oop. Fucking Leatherface goes for the rebound.
Right. Getting those flashlights
in between the legs.
Getting those free flashlights though when people were trying to dribble when flashlights.
Yes, because they were literally sitting. They were sitting decoys. They're just like, "Hey, look at me! Totally don't flashlight blind me."
Bro, there was a PTB patch. I remember I got a random game with Pug versus Grims, and there was a PTB patch where Grims just wanted like Pug's ass for whatever reason. But it was the patch where it didn't matter at what point during the pickup of the animation you blinded them. You could even blind them while they were putting them on the hook, and they would drop off.
I was just talking about this.
Hold on. My favorite was when you could pallet stun them right when they bent down. So you would throw the pallet. They would take their time, bend down, pick them up, set it there, and then go.
It was the fucking best, dude.
It was
Myers. Brrr. My favorite's Myers. Brrr.
It was amazing too when the killers could not hook a survivor, because if someone had a flashlight and just camped the hook as they were on the animation, you got blinded, you just dropped the survivor. You literally could not hook someone if someone had a flashlight.
It was the best fucking game. I was gonna say the only other hatch standoff I thought was funny. It's actually someone posted it in the Discord chat. Was Marv's. I
the
knew
controller one.
like that.
The controller
that
one.
Was so
That
clean.
was such
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, chat, there was this hatch standoff with Marth, the killer streamer, and we're just going to say this. For those that don't know, you can have a controller plugged in as you play with keyboard and mouse. So Marth goes, oh, the survivor wants to hatch standoff. He goes, well, I'm not in the mood to do this. I'm going to go to the bathroom, guys. AFK. If he jumps in, he jumps in. Whatever. We'll see if he's watching stream. He stands up and leaves the camera. All of a sudden, the survivor... Now, Marth doesn't tell chat what he's doing. This is the greatest part. So Marth walks out of frame. Survivor jumps in the hatch because he's watching the stream. All of a sudden, the killer, Marth's character, grabs him out of the hatch. And Marth comes back to the camera laughing, going... Idiot, I had a controller plugged in, moron. And I'll just never forget fucking dying. I lost it.
My man hit him with the Dave Chappelle, like, ooh, nice car. Got you, bitch.
Got you, bitch.
I was like, oh, man. That was the fucking cleanest thing. I was like, I'm going to steal that. I was like, I don't know how I didn't think of that before. I was like, but that was clean. That was clean.
Okay, I got to give a shout out to Diatek's hatch standoff, because if you know Diatek, he doesn't give a fuck about anything. So the survivor was hatch standing off on him, and he goes, you know what, chat? And this wasn't a trick. He goes, you know what, chat? Let's see how long it takes him. He goes, I'm going to go on a 20-minute guaranteed, so it didn't matter if it happened right then or there. He was going to take this break. He goes, I'm going to go on a 20-minute food break, guys. This dude goes AFK from his stream for 20 minutes. The survivors fucking has 3 crows. He's teabagging around the hatch. Diatek comes back in 20 minutes and goes, this guy is still here? And he just leaves the match. Just wasted that man's time for 20 minutes instead of fucking just in the lobby.
I had one game with Doctor on the Doctor's map actually, where I waited out like a Feng Ning. I went to go piss, came back, and it was still there. And eventually, I guess I don't know if she was delayed on the stream or whatever. Eventually, she jumped in like as I was coming back, and I grabbed her. Like I was like one hand like zipping on my pants, and I went up and grabbed her. And then I walked like to the hook and then turn around and drop her. And I was like, I just wanted to prove to you that I won. I don't care if you get off from the game. It's like, I just needed you to know that you die here.
This is the part where you fall down. That was one of Wizrobe's first snipes on me. I'll never forget when I met Wizrobe, met him in DBD. That's how I met him. He was a Jake with a beanie, and he had 8 hours. And I'm like, oh, how are you enjoying the game? And thus me and Wizrobe met each other. I'll never forget, he snipes me, and I'm playing my boosted-ass Billy on Ironworks, and Wizrobe I'm carrying a rando to the hook, and Wizrobe sniped me. He sabos the hook in my face. He had 99'd it. Finishes a Jin, he 99'd, teabagged me, I hit him. He window vaults, teabags me until I hit him again, and then he starts wiggling the slug. I'm like, this little motherfucker.
I think I met one of my mods. The very first thing I did is it was in game with him back with the original brand new parts. I get to him at a generator. He runs to a gen, brand new parts, looks at me, and then DCs from the game. I was just like, what just happened here? It was almost like the what is chainsaw moment or whatever. It just kind of
let me piggyback. Shino, you know what came back? I don't know. Shino, no, because you put it in one of my YouTube montages, Shino.
Oh, yeah.
The fucking Wraith, being bong, your item's gone.
Fuck, dude.
I'm like, I haven't seen this meme since 2017, and here we are in 2020, and this Wraith is eating 5 to 10 minute timeouts to do this to me. What a fucking power gamer, dude.
But I had to put that clip in because I remember the last time that happened to me. It was I can't even remember what the fucking guy's name is, but it was a hillbilly who did the exact fucking same thing to me. He ran up to me, he slapped me with the fuck when I was the only person in the toolbox. He ran up, he slapped me with the toolbox, and I was like, who brings Franklin's for one item? And then DC, and I'm like, I was like, what just happened here?
let me one up it. Me, Spicy Hand, and I do not remember the 2 randos, probably 2 Drama Andes. We were playing, and none of us brought items. And we made a point not to bring items. So none of us were plundering. We were just like, fuck it, we're styling on killers, no items. I'll never forget, Spicy, do you remember this? I think it was Wizrobe, maybe you were a part of this. I grabbed like a med kit from a chest. Leatherface smacks, or no, it wasn't even Leatherface. Dude smacks me, Franklin's, and I went, wait. And I gave the screen, you know that emote, wait, what? I kind of went, wait, none of us had items in the lobby. So then we get to the end game, and I'm like, bro, Franklin's? I go, none of us brought anything. And he goes, quote, you can never be too sure.
Just in case, like.
I don't-
You could have stuck something in your sock. I don't know.
All I can think
Yeah.
of is the
Hiding a
fucking
knife in
line,
there.
dude. Like, really, ninja?
Yeah, really, really, neighbor. Like, what are you doing, man?
Hey, maybe somebody slipped you a s'more with a nail file.
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't blame them. It was definitely popular back then, where everyone would wait 6 seconds
the
until
7 second, the Power
until lobby
Rangers.
time. And
Oh,
then
the
swap.
6-second
It's
swap.
working time. Legacy Claudette. Legacy Peanut. Legacy
You see a
Peanut.
team of quads just turn into like
Oh,
mags.
yeah,
like
just
flashlights.
oh, when you would all go
The
with my
3
favorite.
Dwights.
My favorite was in the pregame lobby. We're all like fucking discussing this shit like tactics. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go as normal Dwight. Now you can't go as normal Claudette. They're not gonna buy it. All right, you go as Prestige 2 Jake, and then you would load it. You would load into the lobby, and then like Shito said, morphin time, quadruple pizza Dwights with flashlights.
Right.
Nah, but see,
Like
here's the
Legacy
thing, though.
Dwight was weird.
I knew
Like,
everyone was doing 6-second swap, so I went, you know what? Nah, we're gonna prank some killers. Everyone brings toolboxes, flashlights, keys, 6-second swap, no items.
No items.
Make
That,
the
yep,
killers
yep.
waste Lightborn, Franklin's, whatever they want to put on, waste the perk slide.
The worst was when killers would wait for 6 seconds to leave the lobby. Now this
Oh,
was
yeah.
when
Oh,
this was when survivor
so
queues were pretty
triggering.
slow back then too,
yeah,
so
and
it was
then you
like
had to reinvite
miserable.
everyone in the lobby.
I was just like, bruh, why you do this? Like, why you do this to me?
Dude,
Had
you
a
know how like
guy-
you know how comfortable we get with I'm sorry, Shannon, really quick. You know how comfortable we get with like the new changes? Remember when requeue wasn't a thing and we dealt with it for 3 years? Dude, yeah, like you forget like no requeue was whew. You got
can't
real
forget
good at
that.
inviting people.
inviting
think-
everybody.
I think the first podcast we had was before that change.
Yep, we were
it was.
discussing
Oh,
it
yeah.
because
And I'm
Death
pretty
Garden
sure
had
I
it.
said the main
You
main
mean
problem
Dead
I have with
Garden?
this game is that we
They
can't requeue.
Fuck, dude. I remember when you couldn't even play with your friends. You just had to snipe each other's lobbies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when DBD didn't even have SWF.
Or
Fuck,
they had
dude.
it, but it didn't work.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
they
that's right.
had
That's
it.
right.
They didn't have it. Then they had it and it didn't work. And then it finally worked. But then
They
the lock
broke it
queues
again.
just took forever. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you remember when and it got worse the more people in your lobby?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember when you would successfully load into a game and during the loading screen you all three ended up in completely different matches?
Yep. I was gonna say it's like, the
Yep.
only thing that was worse is when you get your team together and then everyone didn't get in. Like you load in, it was like, wait, when did you start playing Claudette? I'm still loading, dog. Like why? The worst part about that though is if you could get the person to quit, it would pull them into the lobby, but you had to
Yep.
convince the other person to dodge. It's like this is League all over again. It's like, listen, dog. I was like, I'm going mid or feed. And it's like, what are you talking about? Mid or feed, dog, dodge. Get out of my game. Fuck, dude. Duty's I mean, it's still broken, but it was such a broken mess. To all the girls I've loved.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends that were really interested when DBD first came out that just like fell out of it because the multiplayer aspect was like so shit.
I just want to know when they're gonna give us like an actual ranking system and like rewards for the ranking system. That's all I
Oh,
want.
they're getting rid of matchmaking now. They might even
Yeah.
just get rid of ranks completely now.
We're still
Why-
waiting
you
for
don't
the
even need a
devotion
reward if you don't even need a
Yeah.
reward if you get rid of rank.
I mean,
I'm not saying that in a good way. That's like that's lazy.
like I feel like everyone's been so excited about the leaderboard and everyone like the little leaderboard that somebody made or like with most escapes and most hours and stuff like that. I'm like, obviously people cared about this thing that like other people are going to use it and every other streamer's like has it in their stream. Why couldn't you just make this public access in the game?
Yeah,
Tom?
the fact that we do not, dude, I'm a stats junkie. I would love to know how many steps I've taken. Like I'm just in the mood to find out. Like that would be amazing. Like just random little miscellaneous stats.
Having to have the little pedometer or like something as you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, just happen to have this in my hand. Yeah, no,
Dude, the fact that we don't have a leaderboard in DBD, dude, when last year came out, one of the coolest things even I thought about it was, leaderboard. Because I remember Swind was the #1 survivor for a little bit in last year, and you could tell because the leaderboard. And I'm like, dude, DBD needs this. And then they introduced Twitch leaderboards, but nobody did. No one cared.
no one cared, and then on top of that, no
Everyone
one did
cared
anything
for a
with it.
total of like 1 day, and then
One
it
day,
fell out of
yeah.
the sphere.
Well, like they gave access to the people who cared the least about it. Like they didn't give it to like Martha or me or anybody or you or anybody who'd actually like make a tournament or make an event or actually do something regular with the community. They gave it to people who like thought that it was stupid and they like it shouldn't even be here. I was like, bro, like I'm gonna make this really cool hammer or this really cool steak knife, and I'm gonna give it to this vegetarian I kick it with. Like, why though? Like, so they can stop me from killing their cow? Like, what do you do that for, man? Come on. But, I don't know.
I'd
I
tell
just
you it
wanted a
smells good.
leaderboard. I wanted a leaderboard like to see so that I just wanted when I'm playing at rank 1 to actually play with rank 1 people who give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if people meme because they'll be low rank and they won't be near me. That was like the one cool thing about like Deceit is when we got into like if you had a lobby of like all like killer ass people, like someone like me, like Kid Fix, fucking I can't remember Godly Hikari, like any like squad of people where it's just like, all right, you know when you see them, it's gonna be a good game. And it was kind of like this when we had the Toronto days. When like you ride into a solo queue game, you could see the killer beforehand. I was like, all right, cool. It's like it's me, Kosa, so and so, and then like we're up against like Tempest Funk or like Otofu or like Marth, and it would just be back to back. Like you knew you were gonna have like an intense game.
Oh
Now,
man, I
like,
remember on any given Friday night, even up until 2018 in the early days of that year, any given Friday or Saturday night, I would be kicking it, drinking a little bit, Diatech, next killer, the Swift Legend, next killer, Tofu, and then I would snipe them with Pug and Swind, and it's like, now, I maybe run into Spicy Hand during my stream once a month. Or I'll run into Dahlia, who's actively trying to snipe once a month.
Oh,
And it's like,
man.
I don't snipe into anybody I recognize anymore. I don't snipe into any streamers. It's like, I almost miss region hopping, man. I miss
It
Toronto.
reminds me.
I miss that meme, dude. Who's the killer? Fucking Swift. Like,
Fucking
it's
Swift.
like
Yeah.
I remember
know-
there was one time I juked Swift Legends nurse at a tractor. He looked at you could tell he like flexed and looked at the screen a little harder, and then I immediately got down. Like he was like, "Oh, you juked me once? You're not gonna do that again." Go ahead, Spicy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a streamer. I'm not gonna name drop him if I don't have to. But yeah, he lives in the same state as Florida as me, and he knows about that. We've sniped each other a couple of times before. I have yet to snipe him in like 2 years, except on
Yeah.
Thursday, like right before stream. I got him. I was like, wait, that's right.
You
You live in the
still
same
here?
state of me. I haven't sniped you in fucking 2 years. All right, good. It was a good game, fun snipe. I'll see you in another 2 years.
Yeah, I'll see-
I'll never.
I'll see you on Switch, boss.
I'll see you on DVD mobile.
Fuck.
Man, I love the fact that all of 10 of the Switch players are vocal about their love of the game.
Right? I mean, hey, what can I say? I like being able to take a shit while shitting on people. What are you gonna do?
I ain't gonna lie, it is kind of nice playing Animal Crossing on the Switch, and I'm just like, do going fishing while taking a shit,
So
do collecting some coconuts, taking a shit, do. Tom Nook, this is what I think of you. Flush the toilet.
He's like flush the toilet. Tom's just waiting outside. Is the Mori like I like to just show up like a Mori? He's like, I got a decoration for your house.
And that'll be 500,000 bells.
Oh man, if Tom Nook had one of the villagers on a plaque, hey man, here you go. Don't fuck with me. Pay your bills.
Oh man. He's come to. He's like, yeah, I don't know where Lily went. She was in the village for a while. She wasn't late in a few of her payments. I think 4 times. You're at 3, right? Yeah, it's like you're at 3, right?
I caught her over farming the beach. We need to keep natural order
Fuck, dude.
for the greater good.
I haven't played Animal Crossing yet. I'm planning on getting it because I know she wants to play it, and then she's eventually planning on getting back into streaming, so she's probably gonna stream it.
It's
we're
fun.
trying to get our time schedule right. Right now, we're trying to get it to where one of us is always up with the baby. So like, I've been handling the night shift, she's handling the day shift, and we'll probably end up doing that with stream too. Because apparently the baby can hang out with me while I'm streaming because she likes to just chill on my chest with the little like chest backpack thing she got me.
Little baby backpack.
Right. carry, whatever. Backpack carry.
Literally an IRL carry, the hard carry, the actual carry.
Actual hard.
You can carry your kids while carrying newbies.
So I'm still surprised you never got more into Deceit for your love of trash talk and how often we've talked about if mics are live in DBD chases.
So I used to do, okay, so there's like a two-parter to that. First, I mean, I used to, a lot of people don't know. Marilyn remembers, maybe, but I used to do DBD SWF with Evilish, and we were on voice comms all the time. Like, for my first 5-6 months streaming, I was always, like, doing that. That's going to shock people. Like, not only was I constantly SWF, but I was in voice chat every stream, and I was reading chat. It eventually had to be put down to us. I had to stop because it was just, like, I'm very interactive with chat, and I decided to sacrifice the voice comms over chat. But with Deceit, so that leads into with Deceit, you know, I mean, I showcased what I can do on the mic in Grand Theft Auto. The one day I role played it, chat room loved it. Everybody gave me a lot of compliments because it's like I play well off people. The podcasts don't even show it that well. In person, I play well off people, and when I role played, I showed that. But so I saw Deceit, and I'm like, there was a part of me that was like, oh man, the voice chat, it would like unlock a new part. But I kind of saw Deceit for what it was in terms of writing on the wall. I was like, I took a gamble and stayed with DBD pure, and I was like, I'm going to stick with DBD. That's what it was. Because I was trying to grow the stream, and I'm like, Deceit looks like it's fun, and I could see it overtaking DBD if they put the proper love into it. But I was like, I'm going to put my gamble. I'm going to put my eggs in the DBD, and it paid off. It was a gamble.
Yeah, for me with Deceit, it was never about like blowing up with it. There was a month where like Deceit was the shit, but I think it was just being a part of it during that one, or I would say it's a 2-month period, but being a part of it during that 2-month period was an experience. It was just like, it was everything that DVD was lacking in terms of like the competitive mindset from the people who were playing once you got to like a high elo. And it was just, but it was like all still the same types of adrenaline rushes, like from like DVD, like you had the juke people, but then you had your mics. You could also trick people. Like you had options on how to play it out. It just made it so interesting, I guess, for me. And then, like I said, there were just some lobbies where, like, if you loaded in, like, there were certain people was like, okay, this is gonna be like, I was one of those people where you knew if you saw me, like, I was gonna be a problem. There was like Kid Fix, there was Akari. I think even Swift played. Swift liked to do a voice changer. He would pretend to be Mickey Mouse all the time. But like, there are people we knew that were just like, if you knew we were there, it's like, this guy is you're a piece of, like, everyone just be like, listen, if you don't know who's infected, kill Sheena. And I'm like, listen. If I was infected, I'd kill you night one. But if you try to kill me, you're gonna roll. Like you're gonna lose. He was like, infected or not, I'm gonna kill you. It's like he's like, you might be there's like the best fucking clip I have is like Pickle. I was playing with a chick named Pickle Dream or whatever. We know
who. Dude, she's been getting in my DVD lobby. She's still around.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So everybody, we know all four of us.
Everyone knows she's toxic as motherfucker.
Yeah. Everyone knows that she's like all four of us are innocent. We're waiting at like we've killed the 2 affected, right? We're just chilling at the exit gate waiting to leave. Pickle walks up and scans me, sees that I'm innocent, and I have a shotgun. And I'm like, listen, like don't like I always tell him, he's like, don't fuck with me, dog. He's just like, she scans me, sees I'm innocent, knife me. Like almost kills me like out of nowhere. Immediately I just shoot her as soon as the door opens and leave. She's just like, no, Sheena, no. I'm just like, you better not. Everyone's just like, bro. I'm like, yeah, it's too late. Like I'm already gone. Like,
see, for me, Deceit was always a game. I enjoyed watching it. I still watch Ms. Izzy when she streams it. Like I love Deceit. I decided early on. I don't know, man. The game just fell off too. I don't know. A little bit of it fell off, but it was fun to watch.
It was like it was far from perfect, but it was.
Yeah, that's a charm though. DBD had that. DBD still has that charm. Dude, I hope people realize if you get rid of every bug in DBD, it's not DBD anymore. And I'm not saying that in like a weird way. I mean that. DBD's charm lies in the scuffness of it.
Oh, Jesus. Get your nostalgia bullshit out of here.
Hey, that's not nostalgia at all. I deal with these bugs every day currently. Hey, I deal with the bugs currently. What do you mean nostalgia? I'm still dealing with the fact that if I vault the top window of Institute, I can suddenly climb on top of unreachable fucking objects. It's like... And I have to report it to McLean because I'm now, responsible with it, but...
Responsible.
That guy got so mad I reported that bug to McLean.
That
Yo,
was so weird.
This dude said, you should let people enjoy the bug for a while because it's fun. You guys are nerds.
Calling somebody a nerd on Twitch.
You guys are nerds. Dahlia, you know, I'm honestly shocked you didn't get into Deceit. That game seemed, or did you? Because I know I didn't watch you when that game was relevant, so, or you weren't, I didn't know of you yet. But I'm surprised you didn't have more fun with Deceit, or if you even played it.
Somebody like gave me Deceit or like recommended it to me. They like set up a thing for me to play with them, and I played with them twice. I played by myself a few times, and I remembered I fucking hate comms.
Yep.
Yep.
Because I would get people that literally like I never streamed it, thank God. They almost every lobby I got, I would get some dickweed that thinks it's funny to just run a constant sound through their mic the whole time.
See,
Yep.
this is the thing. It's like if you're gonna play Deceit, especially back then, you just had to be a savage. Like because those people are annoying, but it was the community influence of like, listen, dog, if you don't shut that shit up, we're gonna kill you. And it's like, but I'm innocent. I don't give a fuck, dog. So it's just like, I'll 1v5 this bitch.
We used to back in the Call of Duty days, we'd say, "Turn your Fisher Price headset off, please."
No, I think I got screwed because I think I was like the rando loading into like packs of friends. And that was kind of what made me realize like Deceit's one of those it's fun with friends games.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have friends
Not
to
for me.
game with. I don't game to have friends. What's happening?
See, it was like the opposite for me. I couldn't play with friends because anyone I was friends with during the game wasn't my friend after the game. Like, it's like people didn't like me. They're like, Shito, you shoot me for any reason? It's like, hey, I've had like even my closest mods. Like listen, you just gotta be ready to kill. Like fighting games, walked up to a switch, and I was like, why are you staring at that switch so long, dog? He's like, what you mean I shot him before I could even respond? It's just like, what are you doing? Like, chill. Like, I was just looking at it. Like, nah, man. We don't look for switches around here. We pull them, all right? You don't pull that switch, I gotta kill you.
I think that's
Yeah,
what
I
like
have fun playing it together.
the people that ask me to play DBD with them, like I'll play Payday 2 with anybody. I love that game with even randos. I'll play certain games this or that with random. But dude, I don't think people understand, and it's similar with like Dahlia with the online comms. Like with DBD, I don't think people understand the reason why I'm so selective outside of sub days is because we probably wouldn't be friends if you played DBD with me too often. It's like I'm almost like Liam Neeson, but reverse. I'm like, I need you to have a certain set of skills. I need you to bring in items. I need you to run borrow time, and I need you to know how to run at least 30 seconds.
I had to do that to people I know all the time. I like going to Coaster stream. I was like, listen, dog, one of us is gonna get face cam. I have borrowed time on. You know that if he chases you first, it's gonna be you. If you want me to save you, you put that perk on. They'd be like, all right, Sheena.
Oh yeah, dude. And during SWS Survive with Subs, by the way, a random advertisement SWS this Monday. This message brought to you by Taller Toast. But I'm just like, dude, I don't care how well you play in SWS, Survival Subs. I don't care if you're bad at the game. I don't care if we get slugged at 5 gens. But for the love of God, throw on borrow time if you have it. Please. Please. You are the most useful to me if you can get me off a hook and do so in a semi-safe fashion. I don't care about anything else. It's like if I don't see that borrow time, it like triggers a primal part of my brain, and I'm just like,
Because you think it's like
Turn
you're
into
basically
Kevin Hart,
equivalent
like,
random team.
help me.
yeah,
Please.
help me.
Thursday alone, I had gotten farmed off of a hook in front of the killer's face by a random. Immediately, they waited for me to get off hook. No borrow time. Went down. Died second hook. So many times on Thursday. It was insane.
To be fair, Defiant Cake Man, I don't bitch about gens as much. I care more about not fucking setting AGDQ speedrun records on unhooks. I refer to the match where I literally healed a Nia who it was one person dead, one person slugged, the Nia, me and healthy, and the killer. I heal the Nia. She stands up and uses sprint burst to get ahead of me to farm the person off the hook. I had borrowed time. She farms the person off the hook just to get them both slugged. It's like, that blew my mind. Like, I've seen speedrun records for unhooked. never, as soon as I pick them up, they sprint burst to it and get us all killed. So like nowadays, dude, I don't care if you don't do gens and we die at 5 gens. Just don't bum rush the hooks. It's driving me crazy. And it's because of the tomes. I largely blame it's a lot of the tomes because they encourage you to get people saved in like 4 in 1 game or some shit.
Yeah, all this other like really
But
dumb
it's
shit.
like you still have to get a safe unhook. That means if you unhook it from the killer and they're tulling off hook, you ain't getting that safe unhook, and people don't
I thought they
understand
were
that.
safe. What do you mean?
I
didn't have a heartbeat.
Well,
I thought
someone
they
in the
were
chat,
safe. I got them on their feet.
I think it was suddenly Josh in the chat. He said it the best. He was like, a lot of the good influencers on the Survivor side are gone. We're talking about skillful. I'm not being mean, but skillful. They're gone. 72 gone. Noob 3 gone. Kosa, gone. Frozen Cape or Austin barely streams DVD anymore. And it's just like a lot of these really, even this certain people. And it's like now it's like you got that in combination with these save 4 people in one match. No one's telling people how to do it right. I'm trying, but I'm only one streamer and I'm not the top, upper echelons.
It's like I'm only one man. There's only so much I can do.
I mean, even I noticed when I ran Borrowed Time exclusively in solo queue, more people started running it. Maybe that's the bias effect, but it seems like more people kind of get the idea, but I don't know.
Yeah. I need everyone to just run Kindred. That's all I need. Not everyone.
Dude, the new Kindred's balling.
Right? Like, if I'm ever you've even noticed when I've been playing with you guys, like, if I'm not in comms, like, I'll just put Kindred on. Like, this way,
You don't need comms for Kindred.
Yeah, it's like, I don't have to say shit. You guys can see that all 3 of you on the generator. So when I try to Kobe here in 30 seconds, because you guys are still there, you know exactly what. No, but it's like unless everyone knows what's going on. If someone else gets in the hook, I know what's going on. I'm like, all right, so you 2 are fuckboys. So I gotta go get the save. That's all I needed to know. And then I'm like, it's been a really good solo queue perk. I wish Kindred was always this good, and we would have never asked for it to be buffed a million times.
What if they removed the being able to see the killer and Kindred was permanent? No, you didn't need the perk.
It would be nice. They talked about doing it even, but it would be nice. I don't think they'd ever do it, but it would be
What
nice.
if they detect that everyone in the lobby, or what if they detect whoever solo queue in the lobby, they get Kindred for free, except they can't see the killer aura?
That would be nice too.
Just as a little like, hey, it'd be busted. People would bitch, but I mean, it'd be like a solo queue perk, a solo queue little bonus. I feel like people say you should like punish SWF. I think you should punish solo, or you should punish SWF in terms of rewards. I think you should just more so buff solo queue.
Yeah, give people reasons. I was like giving people reasons, like giving killers reasons to want to play against or like SWS, or giving survivors like extra benefits since you know they're alone would probably be better. Just so like they're like because everyone's gonna want to play with their friends regardless if like they don't get extra bonuses for it. But like no one's gonna like. You know what I mean? I'd rather incentivize someone playing by themselves than punish someone for playing with their friends, basically, if that makes sense.
Wizrope, were you about to say something? I feel like I might have cut you off on accident.
Oh no, you're good. I was just gonna say, the perk that I would really like is maybe like
You're gonna say
directional voice. A directional voice comms perk.
I don't know why I
have
thought you were gonna say no mither. I thought you were gonna
Yeah,
say
if
like
they
flip flop or something. I was like, I was just like, if you don't stop.
If they're not going to put in voice comms for real, that would be cool. Or like, proximity, like within a couple feet, like you can be like, hey, over here, heal me, or hey, let's do this gen.
Yeah, and like the killer could also get a voice comms perk to let them hear into what the survivors are saying. But like it's really hushed and whispered unless you get in a chase. Then you just hear the person screaming.
That would be funny.
Friday the 13th. Random questions. The Friday the 13th server still up? Because every once in a blue moon, I want to like just dick around and RP on that. But like,
I think so.
Yeah,
they are. I feel like I saw someone streaming it the other day.
I feel like if you have a group of if you can get a group of 8 people who are down to play for like an hour or 2, I feel like it's a decent amount of fun. As long as the goal is to have fun and not just kill everybody, I think it's a good time. Either that or like you also have to like don't give everyone car keys. It's one thing I've learned is you give a random teenage girl a car, she's gonna hit you with it. Just don't do it. Our guy, I guess, because I've been hit by a couple of guys. Yeah, I was like our guy, 2020. You know what I mean?
Squad W. All right, I'm gonna bring this topic out of left field. What's a video game genre you wish was good again? And you can be a little hipster about it if it's perceived as good still, but you don't think it is. For me, JRPGs. And I'll get into that later, but I want to let other people talk. But
are you gonna play Final Fantasy?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I will. But I'm not. I already see. Here's the thing: I'm a responsible adult about it. I know I'm going to go in with a bias. There's no preventing it. Nostalgia is going to influence my decision on how much I enjoy it. There's nothing I can do to avoid that. So I already know it's tainted.
I'm
For
slightly.
me,
Oh,
I
go.
haven't played it in so long. I hardly remember any of the storylines, so I'm just like,
Oh, that's
I'm ready.
awesome! You get to enjoy it like fresh.
yes, yes.
But with familiarity too. So
Yeah,
it's
like I remember like a lot of the big characters and everything, and the major plot points, like who dies and whatnot. But
yeah, no. Apparently, some of them. I'm not going to spoil which ones, but the demo spoiled it. Apparently, some of the plot's different already. Like I'll just say what they do with Jesse is different already. That's what I heard. I haven't watched anything about it.
okay,
The plot's different, and some of the combat system's really different too. Like it's kind of what my girlfriend's been saying. It's a little difficult to get used to. Like,
Yeah,
is it more like the new Final Fantasies, like 15?
Yeah, it's much more closer
Yeah.
to like 15 and stuff like that.
And that's so polarizing because for all I've heard, I heard 15 system is great. Even people that like the original games like 15, but I am so fucking hard stuck in loving turn-based. It's just what I grew up with. It's not fair, but
Capcom is convinced that turn-based is dead, but I honestly disagree because the amount of like turn-based games that have still done really well. Even,
dude,
like,
I just played Bravely Second on the Switch. It's technically the third game in the Bravely Default series, and it's turn-based and it's incredible and it's hard, difficult.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I guess it's probably hard to have a AAA title be a turn-based game anymore.
Yes, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Like part of me feels like then like my first one was Final Fantasy X, which was like the last pure turn-based Final Fantasy they did, but it was as aesthetically pleasing I feel as what 7 is now, especially in terms of cutscenes. Like the cutscenes look, at least for a cutscene standpoint, look just as good. Maybe not gameplay, but cutscene standpoint looks just as good. So I'm excited because I actually never played 7. I've like seen a bunch of
You'll
stuff
enjoy
on 7.
it. You're gonna enjoy it because it seems like it got. At the end of the day, the remake has the basic concepts of 7 down pat, and they're pretty faithful. So it's like I'm very. What I also worry about is, my first eyes on 7, my first experience on 7, and what it meant to me as a kid and loving the genre. What about my nieces and nephews or people's kids that are younger? This is going to be their foray into Final Fantasy VII. So that's why I'm also kind of like, I hope it does well. Because more people should know about it. Like you, it's your first time playing it. You're going to enjoy it. It's a good experience. The game is good. And it has a great story. There's a reason why people nerd over it. And Sephiroth is overrated, but I won't get into that.
I mean, there is a reason it's the most popular Final Fantasy game.
Mhm.
It has a very great storyline. So
Right.
Yeah, I had never played it before, and like I played a first hour of the original, and like I was talking to my girlfriend about it, and I was like, yeah, like it seems cool, but like I'm not really super interested in the story. And she's like, what? And like she's like, it's the best story ever. I'm like, all right, you know what? The game's been out for like 10 years. Spoil it for me. And she starts telling, I'm not going to spoil it, but she starts telling me a little bit about it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
Now, I will spoil it. I don't care. The game's, decades old? Long story short, Sephiroth is a mama's boy, and his mom was an alien. Like, GG. That's what... Literally, Sephiroth is a mama's boy. Sephiroth is a mama's boy that failed to burn down a town. The government rebuilt it, and he only killed a handful of people, and he killed, I won't say the name for spoilers for the new remake, but Sephiroth kills a virgin. So, Sephiroth literally kills a virgin, and he fails to burn down a town in the original. So maybe they'll change that and make him do some cool shit. Even though his final attack was like summoning planets, which was sick, but...
That's my favorite song by Chromia. You're just a mama's boy.
My favorite was, there was a Kefka cosplay at an anime convention, and he called Sephiroth the mama's boy. He just walks up, he's like, shut up, mama's boy. Well, to be fair, though, Marilyn, there is a mainstream game that's turn-based that everyone loves. XCOM.
XCOM? Is that what you said?
XCOM 1 and 2?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you cut
XCOM.
off.
Yeah, XCOM 1 and 2, I mean, I played them. They're AAA titles, and they're fantastic, and they're turn-based. They're just really strategic, but...
I'm actually super excited. You just reminded me. Holy shit. This is the game I was waiting for comes out in like 2 days. There's it's basically XCOM, but like it's called Gears Tactics. It's basically XCOM, but like a Halo style.
It's like Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is essentially XCOM with guns.
Yeah. So I'm like super excited. I was like, it actually comes out in like 2 days. Oh wait, no, it got delayed. No. Why?
So the genre I was gonna say is RTSs.
You wish RTSs were good again? Yeah.
You just don't. They just like fell out of everything.
Dude, Age of Empires 2 is my shit.
Command and Conquer is
Command and Conquer Red Alert, man.
I just want
Damn.
Warcraft 4 or fucking StarCraft 3, dude. Like,
Exactly.
You got
that's all I
Warcraft
want.
3.
See, the thing is, I didn't
No.
play the games, but I liked watching the
Stop
tournaments.
it. Stop it.
No, Frightened.
Get some help.
No.
Stop
we
it.
did not get Warcraft 3.
They
We
made
got
the
shit
game
in a
worse.
bucket.
Right?
What we got was like you went to Aldi's and bought the third off-brand bacon where there's no red part, it's all fat. That's what the new Warcraft 3 was. There was no meat to it. That thing was an off-brand of an off-brand of the bottom of my shoe.
That was basically the Blizzard legal team saying, "Make this video game, but make everyone
No.
sign this document first,
It was
because we don't
worse.
want another
dude.
Dota 2 to happen, please."
Cleo Burritos being a Saudi Arabian oil princess over here. Thanks for the biddies. Any oil princes, any tigers?
What bugs me or pisses me off so much about it is they removed BattleNet for it. Everyone's like, "Oh, we had to do it for the blah 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 blah." And I was like, this is bullshit because Brood War got a remaster and Brood War's BattleNet's still up because Korea would sue the fuck out of you if you took out StarCraft Brood War. Don't
Dude,
fucking lie to me.
Didn't also the new Warcraft 3 rewrite the old Warcraft 3 so like you can't go back?
Overrated,
Yeah,
can't
you
go
told
back.
me about that, Joe.
Yep,
Yeah,
can't
so
go
that was
back to the old one.
That was the fucking worst because like I still like 2 months before Warcraft 3 Reforged came out, I was like, let's have some nostalgia. Let's go play
Yeah.
some Warcraft 3 custom games.
Custom
Like,
games.
I went back in there and like I was playing like tower defense and like island defense and life of a peasant, like weird bullshit. And
Oh,
like
there-
there
dude,
was
I had
Custom
so
games
many-
were the best,
I
man.
had
They
so
were
many fucking Dragon
easily-
Ball Z custom games, dude.
Dude,
Oh
here
my
was my
God.
experience, Joe. I remember I sucked at Warcraft 3. And there were these fucking min-maxers. And then I discovered Tower Defense custom game, and that's where it started the rabbit hole. I can't go back to normal. Yeah.
I played the original Dota on there. Like I loved the original Dota. Like I think Chief Honk Honk came from like Tiny because like he made honking noises when he moved around or whatever. Like that game was the fucking shit. And like the fact that they got rid of it and then they're like, "Oh yeah, you can use this new Warcraft 3 editor, but like it's shittier and like everything is ours, so like you can't take it." And it's like,
Can't
no,
take-
nobody wants to remake all their sweet games that we've had like this
For
giant like
fucking decades.
yeah, for a decade, for
Decades.
over a decade. Like nobody was gonna fucking remake that shit. And like
Because
I
that
just
came
look
out
at
like
it.
2001.
Yeah,
Was it
Oh my
one?
God.
I thought it was even before that, dude. Because it was.
it might have been 2000 or maybe like
Oh, I'm
late
maybe thinking of
1990s.
just Frozen Thorn. Maybe
I was
Getting
really
Frozen
young.
Throne was
Yeah, Frozen
2000.
Throne. Yeah, because I was younger. I was in like second grade when we were playing that shit, dude.
I remember when my buddies introduced me to that. Like it was so like life changing. Sorry, Ian.
No, you're not wrong. It was good, and fucking, we haven't had a good RTS in years.
See, that's why
JRPGs are good.
RTSs need to be good again.
Dude, I even like the I think it was called like Mech Assault. There was a mech RTS like turn-based slash. It was weird, but you got to build mechs as your units. It was cool.
Total Annihilation.
Yeah.
I remember that one. I remember because I wanted there to be a second one. I don't know why that one didn't do well. I actually played the shit out of that one for a little bit. As
I'm
soon as you
mad.
said like mech, I was like, yeah, it's Total Annihilation. Ah man, those were so good. So
Age of
good.
Mythology was my jam.
We
Yeah.
just need to get off of this like
Love
3-year-long battle royale thing.
Yeah, it goes
can
in
move on
waves,
to
right?
something
Before
else.
Before Battle Royale, what was it? Was it just FPS?
MOBAs?
I think it
No,
was
it was
MOBAs.
no,
It was
Overwatch.
survival game.
Overwatch
No,
was
no, no.
essentially the end of the MOBA reign because Overwatch is essentially
Yeah.
an FPS
Yeah.
MOBA.
There
It was
like
it
TF2
basically.
before Battle
Yeah.
Royales,
Yeah.
it wasn't even MOBAs. It was before the Battle Royales. It was the Minecraft simulators. Because like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then before that, it was
yeah.
MOBAs.
Then it was the MOBAs, yeah, because we had like
Yeah.
Heroes of New Earth and stuff like that. And then before MOBAs, it was MMOs.
And then
MMOs,
RTS.
MMOs are
Everybody
going to
had
be a
their
while.
WoW killer.
We're not going to see a WoW killer for a while because like every MMO that come out tries to emulate WoW. There's not a single MMO that's come out. Even 14's FF14, I love it, but it's
Still
a little
has a great base.
still has a great base. It's just
Pretty
it
close.
wants,
like,
it wants to yank these WoW things, but it's not quite WoW. And it's like
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing
Well-
they don't think about a lot is like a lot of these MMOs. 'Cause I've played almost every single one of them. they do really well up until endgame.
Yes,
And their end games
yes.
are always terrible. And like, there's like, well, how can we make our end game better? It's really hard because that's the one thing WoW has like 14 years of experience of. And like, as you're saying in Classic, a lot of WoW's early end game really fucking sucked in reality, but no one knew what the fuck they were doing. So it took forever. But now that like players have just become better players overall, there's like people got better as shooters and stuff overall. We've gotten better at MMOs. You can't have like like either no end game content or really easy end game content, or people are gonna fly through it and wonder like when's the next thing. You know what I mean? And,
My greatest memories are always the grind up until like mid-range levels. That's every MMO I've played, whether I got to end game or not, my favorite memories are always the climb to like the mid levels because
rating's my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, I like rating, but it's just like when there's no in game content, I don't give a fuck about it. So I like
true.
the climb personally. Yeah.
What are
One
you
thing
about to say, Fred?
Yeah, one thing you said there, it's not that WoW Classic Endgame was bad. It was the best available at the time.
Yeah.
And it was
people
actually
wanted the classic
difficult.
experience, and it was difficult back then. The
It's
reason
still
why
difficult.
it's not. The reason why it's not difficult is because they modeled classic after the very last patch of WoW Vanilla.
No.
Yeah, that's what they said.
No.
That's what I hear all the time whenever I'm watching the
No.
Raiders.
Well,
No, it's not on the last patch. They're following the patches as they release, like
Yeah,
in
it's like-
quarterly,
it's
monthly
resimulating WoW's entire
Yeah.
life, just
So-
quickened.
the real
Yeah, so-
difference, like the real difference between like classic WoW rating and current, like say like current WoW rating is like the original bosses, like your boss mechanics was one tank hold boss, one tank hold ads, and then cleave ads hit boss.
Or like
Current,
team
like,
swap
the-
mechanic
yeah,
or whatever.
The last final boss mechanic that I did was like Gahoon. It's like you have 3 guys go over here and grab orbs, and they have to pass orbs back and forth to each other. All
my
of your
God.
healers have to stand like 6 feet away from each other and make sure they don't cross feet. Everyone get poison under their feet, and if you touch someone who's got poison, you give them poison and get their poison. The boss looks at you and spits acid everywhere, and you have to make sure that he spits acid at this tank, but not at this tank, and then spits that acid at this tank, and then not acid at that tank. They're just the level of what you have to do for a final boss fight has come so long that like the reason why it seems like it's easier now, not even that it's easier, it's just we've learned as like players to do so much more for a boss fight to like and like compare it. It's almost like doing like a Devil May Cry boss fight or like you know what I mean, like something like really intense. But as a MMO player, you come all the way back to classic where it's like you tank this boss, you tank this boss, have the gear to do that properly, which is the hard part about classic was getting gear, and then we'll beat this boss. That's like the big difference between like the bosses now. But like every other new MMO, it's just like we're gonna have really hard, complicated bosses, even though we haven't taught people how to do any of this shit. Or we're gonna have really easy bosses that don't matter, that do stuff that everybody knows how to do already again.
Everything you described about like current MMO bosses reminds me of getting one flashlight save in DBD, but don't be a pixel late. Just seriously, that's what it feels
It's
like.
tedious, dude. It feels
Dude, it's
tedious.
like any game, but it's like with MMO bosses now. I can remember even FF14 felt a little complicated early on. With Titan, it was like, don't stand here, you got to jump here, got to go here, can't heal here, you got to be in this range. And I'm like, dude, I remember
14
playing.
gives you so many visual cues. It's just like
I know, but still, it's like I remember when it was like, stand here and use ultimate healing. Okay, cool. I've done my job.
I remember in World of Warcraft was don't stand in the fire. Don't stand in the fire.
And now
don't
you have
Dahlia-
like you have add-ons that give you like loud noises and visual cues too. So
Dahlia, what about Mabinagi? What's
Like, I will
Dahlia? What's your
always-
take on all this with like Mabinagi versus like WoW and stuff? But just in general with like boss mechanics, how hard it got or like complicated versus back in the day when it was a little easier, but at the same time you needed more teamwork. Like, how is Mabinagi with all that?
So Mabinagi actually, that's honestly, that was going to be like the game genre. I don't think MMOs are good anymore because I can't find good games like that. I know WoW is a good MMO. Everyone likes it. I prefer the ones like Mabinagi where it was actual like playing it kind of basically was like Sword Art Online. If everyone who's seen that anime, that was the kind of MMO it was. It was like actual hack and slash, like I don't know. I liked the anime style of it, and it was more story rich because they used a lot of Celtic lore and everything, so it was like relatable to actual mythology. But then they got to their end game, and their reaction to that was, let's make the world bigger and let's just keep adding in bigger and bigger worlds. They literally in one patch made an entire new continent that was of a completely different universe of mythology. It was entirely circled around like Shakespearean England.
Sounds like
And-
jumping the shark a little bit.
Yeah, they basically decided for no reason to just get insanely massive, and it got to the point where the new continent and all of its stuff made everything so big
Get
no
down.
one wanted to play anymore because either your
Down, bud.
computer couldn't run it anymore, or it would take you, even on a horse, it could take you IRL a half hour to an hour to travel to where you want to go. There was
So
no
they were
quick
one of those
travel.
MMOs that stuck to the whole realism of travel, no fast travel, not allowed to.
You occasionally ran into portals. None of the portals existed in the new continent, and all the warp portals only opened at specific times of the.
I know with
That's actually kind of cool.
It was cool when you were, if you didn't want to take the portal, it was like a 15-minute horse ride on a good horse. But once it got that big, you were like, well, I'm logging off.
I know with an MMO I really enjoyed, which was Tibia, which is a really lesser known German RPG or German MMO I played in high school. But my entire friend group was really into it. Like everyone was into WoW. We were into this fucking shittier MMO that we just all bonded over. But like the grind to the end game was amazing because you got into guilds, you could buy houses, which it was pretty impressive for like a very scuff looking MMO. It had like a whole house system and stuff. You owned leases. But you would get to the end game and it devolved into just, it was almost too basic, going on the opposite end of what we're talking about now, where like nowadays bosses are like, do this, do that, do this. When you got to the end game, getting there was so complicated. You could travel to certain islands and farm this and craft this, but then you would get to the end of the game and it was like I said, you just stood there and I use ultimate healing, I throw bow, or I throw arrows and I smash with melee. It was too simple, but it reminded me of like why MMOs were fun, maybe versus not now, which is they've, definitely WoW got it right, but WoW got it right so that you could also solo grind. I know that because you could get to like max level by yourself nowadays. It's pretty easy to do. So
Well, there's a lot of other shit you can do by yourself, like whether it's mount
Right.
hunting, whether it's pet
Right.
hunting.
And when
like,
that's exactly to my point is every MMO used to be designed with you can't do this shit without a squad. You could get to like level 10. I remember EverQuest, you can get to like level 5. But then once you got to level 5, you had to find people to play with. And it was like forced socializing, which sounds funny, but you had to have a group and you had to have a squad, and that built camaraderie. You made friends. I still have friends from that Tibia game that I still talk to. And it's like, MMOs feel like they're missing that now. Now they perfected the graphics. Like, look at Black Desert. That game is beautiful to look at. And it's like great graphics, great visuals, great combat, but it's like you can solo it or buy things to make the soloing easier. You don't have to go talk to people. And I don't know, I feel like that's missing a lot. And even in WoW Classic is even missing that because, I don't know, it just feels different. Like they took out a lot of the social elements of MMOs.
Well,
What
that's the
ruined? Go ahead, Gino.
I was gonna say that was the big. It was the social element was like what made MMOs because they weren't like, even by those current time standards, they weren't the most complicated games, but it was the social element that made a lot of those games. But you were saying, Brayden?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with other MMOs, but the turning point for me, specifically with World of Warcraft, was when they introduced looking for raid.
Oh, LFR, dude, that was the worst fucking thing.
It made the entire experience totally
Dog shit.
Yeah, that's why I like Classic so much, because I have my guild and we have like our core raiding team that we meet up twice,
you
2
like-
to 3 times a week, and like
and
I
you
talk
have
to
to
these
have
people.
them.
Yeah,
Final
they
Fantasy
have to be there.
In
So,
Final
like-
Fantasy 14, you can either queue in as a queue, almost like Survive with Friends, or you can go solo for your role. And I've,
Exactly.
like Frighten said, it's a cool combo if you want one or the other. And like Frighten, I did it like twice, and I'm like, I'm gonna just wait for my guild because it's like you just get into these randos, and it was like my first experience because DBD wasn't a thing. I wasn't used to solo queue style, 4 people and you're the only one that's good, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm the healer of all people, so I'm over here, spamming heals. I immediately said, fuck looking for group, man.
Yeah.
It's the
And the
pork
thing is, like,
bitch.
looking for group was like, I keep thinking I'm muted. Like, 'cause I'm like looking at the screen and I'm not lighting up, and I'm like, but I'm looking at
You
the
and
wrong
then I was gonna
screen.
say
That's
you and
why.
then spicy.
Your,
Yeah,
your
you're green
border
for
lights
me.
up.
It's because I'm looking at the stream so I can see
Oh,
Toast's face.
okay.
That's why I feel like it's lighting up late. But
I have my camera overlaid on it because the Discord camera's limited, so I use my OBS.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna quick AFK.
yeah. So, fuck, what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh, the problem with LFR, because you brought up, that was actually, in my opinion, for a lot of people, what killed World of Warcraft is because doing dungeons is one thing, but even if I'm assuming if you knew LFR, then you played during Cataclysm, so you probably knew what it was like doing those start dungeons, like that would literally take like 30 to 40 minutes. If you had a squad who knew what they were doing, it took 30 minutes. It took like an hour and a half if you had a squad that didn't know what they were doing. They took that mindset and then tried to apply it to raids, and so they ended up putting raids into two minds, where essentially, like, you've got one part where it's like we need to make the raids really hard and complicated so people feel fulfilled when they actually manage to beat these bosses. But then we need to make a version of this raid so easy that 15 people who've just met each other can still do it, which are 25 people, which doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no way to like satisfy those two things at the same time.
Yeah, well, they tried to do it a little bit because they introduced like mythic rating, and then they gave like mythic rating extra bosses and shit. But like they needed to kind of scale that back in LFR too.
So yeah, to be fair, they always technically, like, in reality, mythic rating is just what heroic rating used to be. To be real, because heroic used to have extra bosses and stuff like that. What they should have done is, instead of introducing LFR, they should have introduced Flex sooner. That would have been an easier way to get like something that gets more people in, because then you could just flex people in and out, as opposed to doing something like LFR, which is like, I still, even now when I came back to WoW, I don't do LFR, but when LFR first came out, especially as a hardcore raider, you felt like you had to do LFR because there was a chance to get more gear so that you could do normal and heroic better. And and because there were tier pieces and stuff like that, like, you needed to do LFR and you needed to do it as a guild. But that meant instead of going through a raid twice, now I'm going through a raid 3 times. And if I'm wiping, like, if I'm killing like heroic Cinder Ghost, I can't remember or heroic Altraxion or whatever in my guild, and then I go in and I wipe to LFR Altraxion because I have a bunch of retards who don't know how to press a button, like, I lose my shit. Eventually, they removed that mechanic from that boss because people couldn't remember to hit a button. The game would force a giant button on top of your screen, and it's like, hit this now. Oh man! But it's like, to do that, it was like it was just so draining and irritating. But you still felt like you needed to do it if you were trying to be a high-end raider. So it just kind of forced burnout, and then like I said, it forced you to not actually have to be in a community to be in end-game content. Is really what it was. And like, that was, like I said, in my opinion, like one of the final nails in the coffin. People started leaving guilds of that. People are burning out. People had no desire to get better to play end-game content, because like, well, I'll just wait for the LFR to come out. And so there was a huge drop off, and I guess you could say chasm created between the skill of some players. So when recruiting new people, you never knew if you were getting someone who was actually good or just got carried after doing a bunch of LFRs. And it created a whole bunch of issues that honestly just staggered from just people didn't have to try to like be good at the game anymore. They still got to see content. That was their motivation for getting good, was that they wouldn't get to see content if they didn't. Now they got to see the content no matter what, so they just didn't try to get good anymore. And like, it, in my opinion, ruined the game for me as like a hardcore raider, and like as someone who played WoW specifically for end game content. I fucking hated questing. I like the story, hate questing, hate everything having to do with questing. I could just watch a bunch of cutscenes and be cool, and then let me raid. Like,
Yeah, same.
I just want to fuck up Arthas. This kid has been talking shit since Warcraft 3. I caught him slipping in Ice Crown Citadel. He gonna catch these hands. Me and my boy Tyrion gonna fuck him up. Like, I brought all my pallies, dog. We did an all pally run.
Maybe not so much Tyrion. He kind of hid it for a little bit.
Hey, you know what? He was there when we needed him. All right,
Yeah,
he was there when we needed him. He was
We
doing
gotta do
his.
it for Sarfang. We
Yeah.
gotta do it for Sarfang.
Exactly. My man was charging the spirit bomb. He's like, "Yo, give me like 20 minutes." I'm like, "I got you, fam." And then 6 hours later, he hit him with the spirit bomb after we're all dead, and that's all that matters. But fuck, dude. I love World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I legit don't even play. I just watch lore videos, so I'm up to date on what's going on in the story. I'm gonna buy the new expansion and probably play for a little bit, but bruh.
I'm tempted to try the new expansion. Like I only played vanilla, and then I tried the most recent expansion, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I played it for like a week and said, "Okay, I'm done." And then I've just been no life in classic. But the new expansion is supposed to like reset the way leveling works and everything, so that might actually be something that's interesting.
Not gonna lie.
What I'm hearing is like the current meta of WoW. A lot of the classes are starting to feel similar. That's the common complaint I'm hearing.
Yeah, supposedly they're supposed to be doing unpruning. So like what happened was at the start of this expansion, they took away a lot of each class's abilities, which made everyone feel a lot more similar because you lost a lot of the things that made your class unique. Their goal was they're trying to make the classes less complicated so that they're more accessible to more people. But unfortunately, they made every class feel the same, so it didn't felt like it didn't matter what you were playing. So supposedly they're supposed to like they were just announced in the last blue course that they're going to be re-adding a bunch of skills that they took away from this last expansion. Like I said, I follow all of this shit. I just don't fucking play the game right now. It's like I stay very up to date on what they're doing with shit though, like every day. It's like they're finally listening. Maybe I'll play today. Like I just keep looking at the resubscribe button, like maybe today. Not today, Satan.
Could come play classic with
today.
me.
Spicy Hand, do you really play MMOs?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's weird. I used to be like somewhat into MMOs. The first game I ever got into that like led to all the games I play now was Wizard 101. You know, Lil What Me on that. That was the first MMO and game I ever got
That's
into.
adorable.
I stopped playing that.
I played Neopets. You can lol up me on that. When I was a kid, I played, or when I was younger, I played
Neopets was
Neopets.
fucking lit.
It
All
was.
right?
No, I know. I was a fucking master at that game, dude. I don't give a fuck. I had a fucking max level cow or whatever they were called. Like the fucking KOs or whatever.
Yeah, but you haven't spent hours chopping wood in RuneScape, man.
Yeah, I know. I
I
never
was
did.
gonna
That's
ask,
true.
what made like I understand what made WoW great. I played RuneScape, but what made
Free.
RuneScape blow up?
It was
to the
free
point
and it
where
ran
was
on
so huge?
dumpsters. It was free and it ran on
True.
potatoes. Yep, that's
I'm gonna
literally
say
it.
the dumpster part was probably
Was it
a big
always
part of
free?
it.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
no.
always been free. It's always been free.
There's
You
always
could
been a
subscribe.
number-
You could subscribe for bonuses, but you can play everything for free. And back when I was in high school, you could play it on school computers. All you had to do was log in. It was cloud saving before cloud saving was popular. So, dude, it was
Probably
free.
in high school too, because I was playing fucking.
No, but I'm saying when I was in high school is when it took off in my area. And I mean, just
Okay,
yeah, you would go to study hall and it was just everyone fucking playing it. And it wasn't against TOS because it wasn't graphical or anything. So yeah, it ran on
Yeah.
dumpsters, everything.
Because I was. I
And
wanna
it's
say like
grindy.
sixth
It's
grade I
super
found out
grindy.
about it. Oh yeah.
Did anyone play Ragnarok Online? That
Yes.
was
Yes,
my
I was
first
actually going to
MMO.
bring that up. When
Farming
That was
those
my
little
first
farm-
MMO.
farming those little mushrooms are burned into my brain.
I just remembered
Oh, I
this
love
thing.
that game.
There was this guy. Fuck. Oh, what were we doing? My buddy was trying to teach me Ragnarok. Oh, did I just DC altogether?
No, you're
No,
here.
No, you're still here.
Oh, everyone's moving, but I'm like, fuck you, Discord. I'm like, my buddy was teaching me how to play. All I remember is we're like barely getting out of the starting zone. He's teaching me how to play the game. And this dude just walks up to us. He's like, what are you guys doing here? I'm just like, I don't know, like leveling. I didn't remember what to say, like fucking playing. And he's just like, don't you know this is sin territory? And I'm just like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, this is Assassin's only Ragnarok area, all right? Get out of here. I
Oh,
didn't
dude, back in
remember
the
what
day,
class I was
MMOs were
playing,
like
dude.
that because PvP
Yeah.
was everywhere. So you could have like gangs. So that I'm leading that into my next topic, which Cleo Burrito brought up, which is worst thing you've done in an MMO. And I'm gonna start. So I asked Spicy if you played MMO, Spicy, just so you could have a story. I didn't want you to be left out. I know everyone else here plays or has played. So I told you I played that game, Tibia. Well, Tibia was pretty ruthless in that there was only two safe spaces, the starting zone and the bank. Other than that, you could initiate PvP or be initiated on. And if you initiated PvP, you would get a skull, which prevented you from entering safe spaces. So it indicated to people you were a player versus player, and it was like, hey, come fight me. So it starts with, there was these parcels, and you could use them. Long story short, they were items you could use to create fake steps. Well, you can only move items that belong to you, and you have to give like permission for other people to move your items. So what I would do was, I would lure people up to this roof near a safe space and go, hey, I'm doing gold trades. You know, the common schemes back then, gold for gold, and you fucking try to fight who can click it faster, and whoever gets it wins. It's like gambling. So I'm saying, hey, I'm doing gold trades up here, and I would have people come up here, and whether they won or lost, I would move the parcels into my inventory, so now we're stuck on the roof. They can't get anywhere, and there's nothing you can do about it. If you log out, you're stuck for the rest of the day until reset. So I was doing this to people, conning them out of their money and stuff. And eventually this caught up with me. So I'm just being a dick. I'm making people stuck on the roof, and I would teleport out of there because I had teleporting because I was a really high level. Well, then one day I'm walking out to go level, and this Red Skull walks up. And the Red Skull is somebody that's player killed so many people without dying that for 30 days they cannot enter any safe zones. Basically, if you see a Red Skull, they're the business. So 2 Red Skulls walk up to me and go, so you robbed a person in our guild? And I'm like, yeah. They just go, you deserve this. Swing, one tap me. They immediately raid my body. I have no items, and I was just completely naked, and I had to go re-equip at the guild, and yeah, it was pretty embarrassing, and I got my karma. But I'll just never forget the rage, because you would move these parcels so no one can get down from these roofs, and they would go on yelling, hey, this toast guy is fucking scamming me. But that's it, because that's the only really MMO I put that much time into. Every other MMO, I really didn't get to do that much. Like, I only play them for a couple months, and then I'm done. But Tibia, I put in a solid 2-3 years, man. I have infinite stories from that one.
Random wild fact, if you guys didn't know, I found this out recently. It made me smile, because I only thought of it because of the skull thing. Did you know that if you get drunk in WoW, it actually alters the levels of people that you're looking at in the game and makes it lower than they actually are? Quick
I
side
did not
note.
know that. Is that
I
new?
did not.
No, apparently it's always been a thing, even since Classic. A bunch of people re-noticed it because of Classic. So,
What
like,
do
if
you
you
mean? Can you run that by me again?
So if you get drunk in WoW, you know you can drink alcohol, right? If you get drunk, say like you're like level 10 and like you're looking at someone who's level 19, if you get drunk, when you walk up to them, it'll say they're level 17. As opposed to like basically insinuating like you think you can take them or that they're weaker than they actually are because you're drunk and don't know any better. And it'll
That's
even
great.
do it if there's a skull enemy. If they're just barely skull, it'll take them from being a skull to not being a skull for you.
That's fucking awesome.
So, Spicy Hand, what's the worst thing you've done in an MMO? Come on, I know you've been a little shit.
No, actually, I can't say because it's weird. I haven't been able to
DBD
get an MMO.
Is DB, you can count DBD. You can count DBD. I mean, technically, it's massively multiplayer and it's online. You can count DBD if you have like a sandbag story. I know you. Hey,
DBD,
I've been with you with your stories.
So in DBD, I'll bring this back to Hatch Standoffs, except this one's different. So in 2016, right when the Halloween DLC dropped, there was a bug for whatever reason. You would die on hook, or you got put on a hook. It would glitch out. You get stuck inside the hook. The bar would take all the way down, and you would be dead.
I remember this one. I hated that.
Except you weren't actually dead. You would just be stuck in the hook infinitely. And I said,
someone had the DC.
Fuck the killer. I'm making him DC because he played like an asshole. So I went Alt-Tab and just did stuff in the background, just see how long it would take from DC. I waited 45 minutes, came back later, he was gone. I was like, yeah.
I did that to a killer once too, and he messaged me. He's like, bro, I'm just gonna chill. And I was like, I've already got the new My Hero up, dog. He's like, dude, I'm watching My Hero do. He's like, all right, dope. I'll see you in 30 minutes.
Dude,
Yeah,
that one
it's
day I
weird.
got the bug. I wanted to do that, but I was playing with Cody.
I remember that, and then you had the DC, which was so dumb because they had just reinstated the DC penalty after removing it. Mm-hmm.
What?
Literally the day they took it away for whatever reason, or maybe it was a bug. Well, then they reinstated it, and the morning they reinstated it, she got a bug where the killer couldn't pick her up, and she couldn't leave or die or anything. There was no bleed out, nothing. So one person has to DC, and then ended up having to be Dahlia, and she had to eat a 5-minute ban, no reason. Which is what's annoying. I hate the DC penalty. I'm still against it. I think it's kind of stupid, but. So what about you, Dahlia? What have you done in an MMO? What were you a little shit about?
I'm trying to think. I'm did Spicy actually finish his story, or do we totally?
Nah, he made the killer DC on
Yeah,
some
made the
bullshit.
killer DC.
I was hoping I'd have more time to think of one.
Oh,
I think
if you want more time,
I could yap a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
could
more if you
go.
want.
by all means, yeah, someone else, because I'm an angel. I would never be toxic.
Yeah, sure.
It's gonna be so hard.
All right, I know Joe. I know Joe's probably, or were you gonna go, Marilyn? Hey, go ahead.
Joe could go if he's ready.
mine was actually bad. Like I actually feel bad about it. I feel like a bad person. So
About to get real in this.
back in the day, like before I even hit max level on WoW, I was playing a warlock, and I think his name was like Funky Cow 32 or something like that. And
Time to look you up.
yeah, no, that name's gone now. No, it was Slowpoke Man. That's right. I was Slowpoke Man. Yeah. So I was playing
Of
this
course.
little I was playing this little warlock, and I was like, "Oh cool, like there's these awesome mounts you can farm in Outland," which was like the zone right before max level. And so, or the expansion before max level. So I was going after the Nether Drakes, which are like these really sick, like sort of like floaty, like majestic looking, like dragon drakes, and they came in like all sorts of different colors, and you had to like infiltrate this camp of orcs and wear disguises and stuff and all that. And like one of the best ways like to get experience with that faction was to like farm all these eggs, and so there was always like an egg farm thing. Well, one day, I was farming eggs and somebody else is there, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like I'm actually just here helping my buddy, like trying to scout out eggs for him, but like I've already got them out." And I was like, "Oh, cool!" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, well, I've still got quests to do for the day. Like, I mean, I'm pretty far away from it. I don't know how close you are." I was trying to be nice to him. I was like, "Why don't you have the egg?" "Oh, cool, thanks." And his buddy came and collected it. And we kept talking, and later on, he was like, "Well, my buddy's played on my account. He's seen these Nether Drakes. Would you like to play on my account too?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." He's like, "The only thing is like I want you to let me play on your account for this." And like first time I'd ever done that, like I was a little kid, like at the time I was like, "All right, sure, whatever." I gave him my password, and so we logged into each other's accounts, and like he was looking at my stuff, and I got to fly around in his Drake. I can already see Frighten's hands in his head in his hands. I actually
Yup.
got buyer's remorse at that point because I was like, "Oh no, he's logged into my account. What's he doing right now?" And like I had his password, and so I immediately changed my password. And then I was like, "You know what? Maybe just to be safe, I'm gonna change his password too."
Yeah, you bogus. I knew where this was going the whole time. You bogus, man.
I changed his password, and
You
he
wrong,
emailed me.
man.
He emailed me because he knew my email. He's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
dude,
he's probably
nice try.
crying.
I got the account thing that says that you changed my password, so I'm changing yours on you." And I was like, "Oh no!"
Hit him
like,
with
what's
that.
gonna
Good
happen?
luck. No.
And it took me like 5 minutes to realize, like, oh, I have account credentials. Like, I'm just gonna have Blizzard reset my password for me. And I'm like, "Yeah, I got my account back already. I'm back in my account." And he's like, "Oh, I can't do that." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that sucks." And I don't know if he ever got his account back, but I never saw that guy online again.
Joe, the moment you were like, "So I see this guy and his buddies, so I gave them this." I'm like, "This motherfucker, he's not."
I still think back to these. I'm like, I don't know if that guy like just quit WoW or like what happened.
You probably made somebody cry that day, Joe.
I probably made him real upset. Like
He was probably younger than you are.
Probably.
I don't know about that. He was.
Yeah,
decked
hey,
out.
no.
He was
How
maxed
we feeling, Joe? How we feel you made little Timmy? He was just wanting some fun on an MMO, and then you stole little Timmy's account.
No, it was probably his dad's account that he was just on.
Oh man, Joe's gone. We lost. All right, Marilyn, I gotta know.
All right, mine
I gotta
was
know.
not that bad, and it might also be my worst and my best moment, and it was actually recent. So we were in a Blackwing Lair in WoW, and we were just waiting to go into the room for Veilstress, which if you've ever done Veilstress, once you've like aggroed him, if you go back in the room, he will basically immediately aggro you. So if you're coming back after a wipe, you have to sit in the little hallway and wait. So we were waiting, and my cat was pawing at the door. So I pull off my headset to go get the door open for the stupid cat, and I come back, and my character is running diagonally across the room through the giant dragon. Somehow did not pull the dragon. Like everyone in
Woo!
Discord is like screaming at me, like, Marilyn, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, oh shit. And then just nothing happened. Didn't pull it, nothing happened. They're just like, I don't okay. Whatever.
Everything was all right after all.
It was fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine. It was calculated. You were just trying to scare him. You were just trying to scare him.
The test of their, the macro. Were they ready to pull at that moment's notice? You know what I'm saying?
Everyone was buffing. Like it was not the time to pull. Like there were summons going out. Like it was not the time.
All right, Frighten, what do we got? What's the worst thing you've ever done in MMO?
It technically wasn't in an MMO. It was with an MMO.
Okay.
I like where this is going.
Because I've never done I've never really done anything in game to I never scammed anybody. But
I didn't mean to.
little Timmy remembers.
Myself, right?
No. So at the time I was in college, and I had a 40-hour-a-week job during the day, and my girlfriend would come visit me, and I taught her how to farm skinning materials for me. So she sat and waited for me to get off of work, hours upon hours. I set the market on leather for a solid 10 weeks because of what she did in 40 hours.
Nice.
I like doing shit like that, manipulating, buying out the market and then reselling everything at your own price. Like, I decided Mithril's 20 gold tonight. From this point on, a bar.
In Tibia, that incited a fucking clan war. We were I was part of the second biggest clan, and then I told you about the clan that I fucked with. That was the number one clan. Well, backpacks of ultimate healing runes was always determined by everybody. It's sold by 2.2k gold a backpack. Well, I decided one summer, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna sell mine at 1.9, and you can all just hold this L. Well, that incited a literal fucking server-wide clan war among like 30 total people because I was ruining the literal economy of the whole economy was on these ultimate healing runes because that's how important they were. And I just remember the moment I fucked with that, I was hunted by like 30 different people, and I had to stop that and revert the price. I was like, you know what? I learned my lesson on this one.
Right. I would say I'm going to pick something I did for someone else. It was a dick move, but it was a dick move to a dick. Because I did a lot of fun. Like, I don't need to explain to you. I'm petty. But I was also a guild leader and an anime protagonist. So like you can't fuck with my friends. Like we can fight all day, but you don't get to fuck with my friends. So all I remember is one have been VOA, so it must have been ICC time frame. So Wrath of the Lich King, World of Warcraft, and people are pugging the Vault of Ashelon. So this is, for those of you guys who don't know, this is a specific raid that your faction can only do after your faction has won a particular battleground. There's a battleground that goes on like every 3 hours for like control of the vault. And if your faction, like Horde Alliance, wins it, then only for those 3 hours can your faction do like raid bosses in that area to get like either PvP gear or some other really good pieces of gear. So, mind you, this is a very limited window you can even do this raid. These guys go in there, and I guess like they had ran a raid early, and they ninja things from some friends of mine in the group. Where basically he rolled on something. He won it, but they took it from him and kicked him from the group just to be assholes, right? So they needed a tank to do like the final boss, the boss that gave like the best piece of gear or whatever that everyone comes for every week. And I was like super overgeared for it. I show up, I was like, yeah, dog, I'm a heroic Kingslayer paladin. I'll hop in and tank it for you. He's like, really, will you? That'll be great, mister. I'm like, yeah, I'm bored. Why not? I'll help out. So I go into the raid with them. I like waste a bunch of time telling them, hold on, I need to buff. Hold on, I need to tie my shoes. Hold on, I forgot my Velociraptor back at the base. I'll be right back. Like just dumb shit to waste time to where we're almost about to lose the vault. And then finally get to the point where we have like enough time for one pull of the boss. But like with a super overgeared tank like me, the boss will be super easy, right? Now everybody knows paladins have the like can bubble hearth, right? and that's great. That's like, one thing you can do. You can leave and then they'd be fucked. But they had 2 tanks. But Paladins also had another ability that you had to like buy like a scribe for called Divine Intervention. What it would do is if you used it, it would kill yourself, but you'd put a 1 minute bubble on somebody, or I think it's a 1 hour bubble. It's a 1 hour, 10 minute or 1 minute or 1 hour, but it's a bubble on another player in the raid and makes them completely invulnerable for the period of time, but they can't do anything. They can't attack, they can't move, like they just have to be stuck there. So we start the fight. There's 2 tanks and the rest of like 25 people. I pull the boss. Everybody gets in. The door's locked. We all start fighting. And I kill myself and bubble the other tank. And he's never seen this ability before, so he has no idea what to do. But he can't tank the boss. Like, he can't do anything. So I just sit there dead on the ground watching as this boss runs around, runs up to me, watches me die, looks at the other tank, and then just starts looking at everyone else in the raid and just running around one-shotting everybody in the group. And everyone's like, what's going on? How did the tank die? I was like, I got one shot, dude. I don't know what happened. It's like, what's wrong with the other tank? He's like, dude, I can't move. I'm bugged. I don't know. Like, all of them are freaking out a bit. Like, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, oh, man. And then afterwards, I was like, yeah, we roast the healers.
Fucking healers.
Fucking healers.
Damn noob healers.
Then right at the end of it, I was like, don't fuck with City of Trees, homie. And left the like, ever fuck with my squad, doc. Like, but it was great.
Gang out in this
right? City of Trees filet. No,
Dahlia,
man.
I do not buy it for a singular moment you haven't been a little shit in an MMO. Now, you had to have remembered something.
She's just sitting there playing
You're
Britney
too
Spears
toxic.
like,
Eh.
I'm toxic, I'm slipping under the taste of your poison bed.
In my defense, I was 15.
These always start fantastically.
Okay, Wizrobe.
I pulled girl MMO gamer move. This was in Mabinagi. At this point, I had been playing Mabinagi for almost like 4 years. I was very well versed in Mabinagi. Now, Mabinagi has a thing you can do where your character actually ages, and you get certain buffs and you get certain like buffs and certain spites based on your age. And so they also had a potion you could buy where you could reset your age and make yourself younger. And a lot of times when you did that, people thought you were a new character because you start off very young also. And you can choose to keep yourself
Not
that
only were
age.
you 15, but you looked like your character.
My character literally, if you reset your age, your character, it says, is 10. That's what age your character starts at. And there's literally clothing that is specific. There's some rare clothing in all the groups, but there are age group specific clothings that you can only have if like your character is a child or a teenager or an adult or old. And I saw someone with a super rare, super fucking pretty dress for a female child character. And so I pulled the girl move and I ran up.
Cutting out.
Yeah, you gotta hold down their talk button.
The taste of your poison paradise.
She's locking us out of the story.
Oh no, I'm telling. I just had to add the effect. I pulled up to them like, "Oh my goodness, mister. That's an amazing outfit. Where did you find that?" And they were like, "Oh, well, I've been playing for a little while. It was my first rare. It's so pretty. I'm so jealous. I don't think I'll ever be able to earn something like that." They gave it to me, and I immediately took off. And they found me like a week later when I had used an aging potion and saw that I had like the highest rank of all of my abilities. They were really pissed. But I didn't give back that dress. It was a pretty fucking dress, man.
Good old days of playing a female elf and WoW, dancing at the fucking local town, getting some gold,
Goldshire
baby.
shit.
Yup.
Fucking moonshot.
I even did that shit.
Goldshire.
Goldshire. Where was what server was it though? Not Moonguard, was it?
Yeah, it was Moonguard.
Moonguard. Oh yeah, Goldshire and Moonguard, dude. Fuck the stories.
That was the degenerate server.
I would like to point out that Dahlia hasn't lost that ability to, ask for things like that, by the way. That's not very inaccurate to current day Dahlia, so I don't know what this when I was 15 shit is.
Yeah, I don't know why you had to use the filter for that. That looks look real.
Hey, mister.
Hey, mister. I sure would like to play some SWF.
Golly gee whiz killer. It would really be
Is that the
something
Barbie.
secret
if we
to
had.
play?
Right.
It'd be nice if you
You
got me
wanna
out of
go
this
for a
locker so
ride?
I can DS.
Sure can. I'm stuck in this locker. I can't get out. I got you. Don't worry. I'm bugged. Oh, man.
Okay, so I remember a troll thing I did in TF2, Team Fortress 2. Me and these two other engineer mains, we were called the Base Defense Force. And I'll never forget. We load in, and I know like some games in TF2 would limit how many you can have in a class, but we would always stack up 3 as engineer. Well, number one, this pissed teams off because in 6v6 you don't need 3 engineers. So every time they would see 3 engineers going, yeehaw, and they'd go, what does Base Defense Force mean? I'm like, don't worry, I got you. The game would start, all 3 of us would immediately build turrets facing into our spawn. We would immediately build turrets facing into our spawn. We would have teleporter exits facing our spawn. We would put a teleporter entrance on the health spawns. And then we would put our dispensaries to block the spawns. All 3 of us. So to get out of your spawn, you had to keep bunny hopping over all of our construction. And these guys would get on the mic furious. What the fuck are you doing? And I was always the one I'd get on and go, don't worry, bro. We're watching for space campers.
We'll get them when they try to camp our spawn, bro. We got this.
Immediately vote to kick, start flying up and stuff. We've gotten banned from a few servers.
Fuck.
Man, that
I was
did bring
gonna-
up some TF2 memories, I'll say.
Go for it. What you got?
Well, I mean, the classic, I always love to do this on 2-4. Play as engineer, build a sentry on top of the bridge, and camp the spawn.
Yeah, you showed me that, and it mystified me because I was drunk back then when we played that, and I went, wait, what the fuck did he just do? I was so confused. I saw you hop on top of there with a sentry. I said, wait, what?
Oh man, it's so fucking hard to do it because there's just so many ways your sentry can get destroyed, and then you got to do all the setup. But man, okay, you take the Wrangler, shoot the rockets at your feet, rocket jump onto the bridge, use the rescue ranger, teleport your sentry over to you, teleport your dispenser from the sniper bridge, set that all up because there's like a one specific spot you could put
If you
down.
die
buildings
during
on that
any of
bridge.
this, you have to redo it. If
Yeah, you
die
gotta
during
redo
any
all
this.
of it because your sentry will break in your hands. But if you can place that down and get yourself set up, oh, you are just set. You will just get on a 20 kill streak.
I remember when that kid OK boomered me. Joe was there. I still feel that damage. I'm so hurt from that, man. This kid was trolling me, and I go, hey, how does it feel to still have to raise your hand to go to the bathroom in school? And he goes, okay,
Oh,
boomer.
I think I was there for that.
Yeah, you were too. And he goes, okay, boomer. And I went, wait, what? And he goes, yeah, boomer. And I went, shut up, you're a kid. And he goes, okay, boomer. And I just remember going, ow, it hurts. It hurts, Mr. Stark. I don't feel
got
so
called
good.
Boomer in DVD, and I was just like, bitch, excuse me.
My favorite was when someone said that the Death Slinger's lore sounds like some edgy person wrote a fan fiction in Hot Topic or something like that. Give him a harpoon gun, dude, and he's a Irish cowboy.
I was gonna say, what is Deathslinger's lore? I actually haven't. I heard the chick story, but I never heard Deathslinger's lore.
He's literally Micah from Red Dead Redemption 2. No, it's like a Scottish cowboy that used to run with a gang. Literally, is what it is.
I need to play Red Dead. I really need to play those.
Oh, you do. It's good.
I do. I wanted to ask you guys about one Twitch topic because I thought this would be
Go for it. What we got?
kind of interesting one. So, you guys know that Valorant came out this last week or this last week, right?
We discussed it at the start. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did you guys talk about the Dr. Disrespect thing or?
No, but we briefly touched on drops and how people were faking putting drops in their title and stuff to get viewers and blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah. So I guess my question is, because some people feel like the people who did do that should be punished. I was wondering, what do you guys think about that? Should they be punished for doing that, or do you think it's okay to do that? Like to basically pretend to have drops when you don't, or something like that.
I don't know. See, like, as much as I'd say I want them to be punished for it, there's also something underneath their stream that says drops are enabled. So if someone says in their title drops are enabled, just scroll down real quickly to check to make sure. If they don't have it, they're lying. So I mean,
Yeah, if that's a system, then I don't really see like what the harm is. Like it's more on the
Yeah.
viewer, right?
I saw
Like,
a lot of
is there like
streams.
a sorry?
No, go ahead. No,
I was
go.
saying, is there something in TOS that says you can't lie in your title? Because it's basically all he's doing is saying, "I have drops." It's a lie, but
I
it's
mean,
in
he
my
It
could-
became a
title.
meme because there was non-Valorant streams drops enabled in Minecraft, you know.
That's what I think. Like there's so many people just like meme and troll on Twitch. Like, are you gonna tell people they just can't lie in their titles?
Like my question is like, I guess my thought or response to it is like, why should he not be able to do it? Like, I guess for me, it's like, why doesn't he have drops? You know what I mean? Like technically, we all know that. Like, obviously, by him doing it, the conversation's been like, well, drops will artificially inflate his viewers. And it's like, aren't drops artificially inflating the viewers of anyone who has drops activated? So why is like, who is Twitch to decide who gets drops and who
The
doesn't?
rumor
get
I
drops,
heard
you know
was
what I
he
mean?
was trying to so Dr. Disrespect was apparently trying to negotiate with Riot Games and they didn't come to an agreement, and as like a fuck you, they just didn't give him drops specifically because he didn't like the deal, so he like balked out or something like that. I heard it was like specifically Dr. Disrespect because he wanted to negotiate and hold out for more money. So they said as a fuck you, okay, everyone gets access to drops but you or something like that. That's what I heard. Or Dr. Disrespect in protest because he didn't get the deal he wanted isn't doing drops or something like that.
Yeah. But this is, I mean, that could be it. But then it's like, even on the flip side of that, though, it's like, why, like, first, let's say DVD did drops or whatever, but like they didn't give you drops, but then did give like Wizrobe drops. Like, how is that fair that they're just picking out random people?
Kind of like how they
who
chose
gets to
people
watch
to
the
be
live
Fog
event?
Whisper that ended up making fun of the game publicly on Twitter. Meanwhile, I've been steadfast in my support of it. Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with it a little
Yeah.
bit.
they're still out there complaining about dedicated servers every day.
I'm a little familiar with the concept.
I mean, I get that, but like, I feel like Twitch can't say anything unless they're gonna start policing what people have in their stream titles.
Which to an extent they already do, I guess, if they like lie or like threaten people and stuff like that. But
Well, yeah, but I mean, that would have to be like, you can't have false advertisement. Like, I don't know, maybe that is in TOS. I'm not sure, but
Well, someone brought up in my stream today, they're like, what do you think about Twitch breaking the record for 1 million concurrents in a stream? And I'm like, I had to break it to him. I'm like, dude, you realize like half of this shit's like view botted, right?
I was about to say half of those
Yeah.
people are never going to return to any of those streams once they get a beta code.
yeah, I mean, it's probably like 40% view bots and 60% people just wanting keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
And then-
tomorrow, I'm gonna be one of them. I'm just gonna leave a stream open and go play Final Fantasy VII.
Bro, I've had that shit open for the past 3 days and it had gone jack and shit. And Jack
Frighten
went to
over
go
here,
watch
got the
another
game
Valorant.
smug
I
as shit.
just
Frighten
found out
smug as
today.
shit.
Yeah, I know. I
Frighten just
see
told me,
Friend over
so-
there smiling because he got a key first day.
Frighten, what's your
Frighten
take on all of it?
Drops.
I want to hear Frighten's take on all of it since he actually's got to play the game and shit.
Yeah. So, you know, Dr. Disrespect shouldn't have done what he did. No question about it. And I believe that there probably is a story behind all of it, like you suggested, Toast, that I don't know about. So it's real simple. You don't do that unless you're clearly trolling, and there was nothing clear about it. And even so, like when you're that prominent, it's probably still not a good idea. So
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean,
I
it's
can
the
see it.
same.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, it's the same, like, sort of artificial inflation as view botting. Like, you're only getting those people who just want the drops, and they're. I mean, maybe you'll get a couple follows out of it, but do you really want those kind of people like coming back to your stream necessarily? Like,
I mean, you got to think like the big thing too is like if you're getting drops, like these guys are getting like extra thousands of viewers. So like for every like say 1,000 viewers, every time they run an ad, that's like $3. You know what I mean? So it's like at that point they probably don't care about the viewers. They probably just care about the money for it. But you can also see it as like it's an opportunity to convince someone to watch. You know what I mean? They still have to pull up the stream. You got like 60 seconds before they mute you to be like, hey guys, my name's Shinobazu, and this is why I'm the best guy in the fucking world. Let's do this. And then,
I
you
mean,
know,
at that
maybe
point, the
that's
ones that are
all it
getting
takes.
drops, they're probably the ones that have sub-only chat on anyway, so they don't have to deal with chat trolls and stuff. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was funny. On one day I was watching a streamer, big partnered streamer, you know, pretty big numbers. Uh, the entire chat just started spamming the command he had for like to pull up all the info, and the mods was just starting to yell at everyone, saying, "Stop fucking spamming the command!" And they switched the chat to sub only. I lost my shit.
See, if they were proper mods, they would have put the command on a timer so people couldn't spam it.
It's that
It
fucking
wasn't
whole.
even. But the thing is,
It's
it wasn't
monkey
even
see,
that
monkey
it-
do on Twitch, man. Exclamation followage! Exclamation
God, I was
followage!
just
Yeah. But it wasn't. It's not even the fact the command wasn't on a timer. Everyone in chat was just literally just spamming exclamation point like beta for the command, even if it wasn't popping
Talia, I
up.
swear to God.
Just in spite.
Fucking beta! Exclamation point!
Exclamation
Beta!
Here's the thing that kind of surprised me though. Like people talk about these drops like this is new. This is the exact same thing that's happening in every single like Warframe and Paladin
Yes,
stream.
and Warframe was
Like, it's
actually
been
known to be
happening.
botting and shit too. Like they were definitely
mean-
view botting streams.
To be,
I mean,
to
it's
be
still
fair,
happening.
apparently there's a discussion about a bunch of fake accounts, which they were, but there are basically a bunch of fake accounts that were essentially view botting even in the Twitch streams. No, it wasn't for no reason. The reason why they were botting is because they were making the keys hard to get. There was a bunch of people making fake accounts in order to watch the stream so they can get a key and they could sell that account or sell that key to somebody so they can get into the beta. Apparently is what was happening with them. Supposedly they cracked down on some of them, but obviously they couldn't crack down on all of them as much as they said they did. But that's for, you know what I mean? So there were technically some view botting along with it, you know what I mean?
In my opinion, if they're not going to go after, if they don't go after view botters who are view botting to get more ad money, and they're doing it blatantly with Wikipedia embedding, you know, they don't go after Fortnite people. They didn't go after Ninja when he had his, you know, stream embedded in Wikipedia and stuff. They're definitely not going to go after Doc for faking drops. They're not going to care about that.
Oh yeah.
No,
They don't care about people artificially inflating their numbers, so they're not going to give a fuck about fake drops.
I mean, I personally feel like I probably would have did what Doc did too. If I didn't get drops and like everyone around me had drops, I
Fuck
probably would
yeah.
have had drops. Just because I'd be like, fuck you for saying I don't have drops. Because I feel like even if like I did or didn't have drops, I guess the idea for me is like I don't want drops necessarily for more people, but I'd like the people who watch my stream already to be able to have the opportunity to get drops. So you're not giving me drops. It's kind of a bitch move. So I'm just gonna say I have them anyway. But it does kind of like I could see why the like people in this community would be upset about it. But I mean, I feel like the people in this community should know. Like, you know what I mean? Like Doc says he has drops, or he doesn't have drops. What he's really saying is go meet somebody in the other stream and watch Doc. You know what I mean? Or watch what I would say is, you know, watch me. You know what I mean? Like and don't worry, I got Summit or whoever up in the other screen too. And if I get an extra drop, I got you. But
the drop things always were weird to me too, because it was like, I don't know, like ever since the Warframe, because Warframe made it really popular. You know, drops here, drops are here, drops here, and I'm just like, it literally feels like a circus showman on the side of the road. Come to the circus, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come to watch the show, please. We have drops. You know, I get why people do it. I just think it's goofy.
I didn't mind the Overwatch ones. It was mostly just like cosmetics and stuff. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't anything
that
important.
I forgot about those. Yeah.
Okay, there's
Yeah.
one game that does drops for Twitch that I think would probably surprise all of you, and it's Don't Starve Together. They actually
That
have
does
this weird
drops?
thing. It is. Every once in a while, like when a new update comes out, they'll enable drops where if you watch a streamer for like 6 hours, you can get like a portrait,
That's cool.
profile picture, and a full in-game cosmetic that would change the look of something you create.
That's cool.
And I
That is-
thought
that is
I think it's good too, because
There you go,
it's not
Frighten.
like it's not like you have to do it to play the game or anything like that. It's just a cosmetic. If you want to support a streamer and show your support for a game, you just watch a streamer. Even if you don't want to watch them for the full 6 hours, just leave them on the background, give them that extra view, and then you get your cosmetic. And who knows, you might find someone you might like that enjoys the game.
It's cool.
Somewhat related, unrelated note, it shocked me, like the whole Fog Whisper thing. It shocked me when I found out they were like contractually obligated to play the game. Like it's like at least with the drops, I don't know like how that goes either, but that whole like in general, the whole contract to play the game thing, it's like you cannot escape it. You have to play it.
No,
Well,
but they have to say that they're doing an ad. There's a law that went into place. They have
Yeah.
to say they can't do this
Not
behind
so
your back.
They're not supposed to. Plenty of people do it, but you're not wrong. They're not supposed to at all. They
Yeah.
are supposed to say the hashtag ad. I think it was that one dude I didn't fuck with probably had like the best clip where it just like, it was like it wasn't even a clip. It was just a meme or I don't even fucking how to describe it. It was a really cool design wording. There you go. Where basically the guy was just like, Fog Whispers, do you like Dead by Daylight? And it's like just yes, 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 yes. But it like shapes the word no with all the yeses. It's just like the crying world. It's like the had ever seen. It's like, yes, of course I love this game. The game's the best game's ever been. Of course, save me.
Blink twice
Yeah,
if you're in
blink twice.
distress.
He's like, struggle twice if you need help.
My favorite, it's like I'll get a new guy in the chat, and I always imagine him as like a little toddler in a pool with floaties on. Like, where am I? And they're like, dude, you seem like you enjoy this game so much. And I'm like, so many people say that like it's rare now. It's like when you get complimented on your level of enjoyment and interaction of the game, it's like I don't even gotta. All I gotta do is have fun, and I'm entertaining with this game. All right,
Yeah,
cool. Fuck it.
I mean, I wouldn't play the game if I didn't find it fun. I mean, just some nights are just bad because solo queue just sucks sometimes. But man, the game can still be fun. It's just
It was
crazy
like that.
think people
It was like
be
that Twitter video Wizro posted of that guy. What, you guys are freaking out at me because I'm getting mildly salty? It's like, what, we freak out at games. Like, just because I pop off at DBD doesn't mean I hate it. It just means it frustrated me.
Yeah, right.
You've never seen someone get mediocrely salty?
You've never seen someone actually have an emotional response?
My favorite's like, I'll be so chill dying solo queue after solo queue after solo queue. And then the one game where I'm like, fucking hell, teammates. There's always like, every once in a while, this one newbie in chat. Wow, why is he so mad? Why is this streamer so upset?
You gotta push your glasses up when you do that voice.
Now the real question here is, what is it gonna take to get you to start watching My Hero now, Toast? Now that season 4 is over.
Yeah, I was about to say they actually went like 1 or 2 more episodes longer than I thought.
Yeah. So what do we got to do to get you to start watching?
I'm already on the journey too. I decided last night started it. Dahlia's mad at me for this one. Last night I kind of stayed up till 2:30 in the morning marathoning BoJack to finish that. So I have a whole list of shows I need to finish. I'm almost caught up on Attack on Titan. I have like 5 episodes left. And I love this season. I finished BoJack Horseman. Yeah, I finished BoJack Horseman, which made me bawl my eyes out, and then
I heard the finale for that was really good.
So good, man. It ended the way it needed to, and then I plan on doing My Hero and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So I'll be catching up on My Hero and then Full Metal Alchemist. I'll start from episode 1.
All right.
So yeah, I got BoJack was first because it was long overdue. Actually, that's a cool topic to jump off of. What's a TV show you all need to wrap up and you haven't yet for whatever reason? Like
House of Cards.
Yes, I was gonna say that one.
I'm very conflicted on that show. Like,
I can't decide if I want to bother, just like because of the reason the last season is the way it is, and also like I have this thing like I have to finish a show even if it's bad, and that's a good show. But like,
the thing is, like, it was a really good show, but it also like dropped their main character in the final act, and I'm like, imagine Dragon Ball Z, but like Goku doesn't come back for the Buu saga, like basically what they did for that show. But like, that wouldn't even be right. Imagine Dragon Ball Z, but Goku doesn't come back after the Frieza saga. Like he's
a terrible, terrible person. So I'm like, the character is a terrible, terrible person, regardless of what I feel about the actor.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying, he made that video, killed him with kindness, and then that accuser died the next day.
But like, so for those wondering context, basically, House of Cards has like was the lead character of Kelsey. Was not I wouldn't say Kelsey Grammer. It's not Kelsey Grammer. Fuck.
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. Yeah. I don't want to do Kelsey Grammer like that.
No.
Kevin Spacey. Yeah. The lead character is Kevin Spacey, right when the final season of House of Cards is getting ready to be filmed and like shot by Netflix, I guess I don't know if he came out first or the accuser came out, or basically there was
He was accused. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Part
some
of the Me Too
basically
movement.
yeah, someone came out in the Me Too movement saying that like something happened between him and like a young boy when the kid was underage. Whole bunch of craziness. Not saying where I stand one side or not for that, but I never really liked Claire in the show. So when they said that they were killing his character off because of what happened there, which I don't know, someone losing their job mid-show, it's kind of like stuff like that bugs me because it's just like it's only because like you're ruining something or you're changing a product, not because like it's what you think is best for the product, but it's because of like outside forces that you may or may not agree with. And I guess if they agree with it, I kind of understand, but it's really awkward for me. Like I can't imagine any other show dropping their lead character.
Oh yeah,
for the
it's a
final
death
season.
sentence.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, you have Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They swap the actresses for the aunt. They very quickly go, wow, you look a little different. Tongue in cheek, you move on. But she was a side character, and I mean, you know, it was Aunt Viv. She could be changeable because she was not the main forefront, and the replacement actress did a fantastic job either way. But with House of Cards, that was the main dude. Like, the show is not the show. It's like literally Rambo without Sylvester Stallone. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Exactly. Like in my head, I'm like, very few shows could pull it off, but no show I think could pull it off like in its final season after 9 seasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's been shows like Gurren Lagann or something like that where they pull like kind of like a switcheroo on you, but usually stuff like that happens even if it's not early on, like midway through the season, not in like its last act. You know what I mean? And just to even have the character killed off screen just seems like I know why they do it, but it's so jarring. It just like I couldn't finish the show.
So here's my question: is would you rather them have just stopped, or would you rather it have an ending?
Oh, see, that's one of those like leave it while it's good, despite not being concluded, versus having an ending, but you feel a little disappointed. Yeah,
like
that's
think about like the writer's strike. Like there's a bunch of shows that got like just killed off during the writer's strike.
Yeah.
Would you rather that have happened to it?
I would rather that happen to have Dexter. That should have happened to Dexter. That show needed to stop.
Yeah. I could say
That
that
show
also
would've been
about
fun.
The Walking Dead. That's another one that just needed to stop.
Yes.
It needed to stop, and every single goddamn spinoff.
Yes.
Have you had enough of the show about zombies, but it's not really about zombies?
Like Talking Dead was one thing because it was just a cool talk show thing, but like Fear the Walking Dead was just bad.
All I can remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, all I can think of my buddy is just like he's like, oh yeah, it's like talking. He's like people talking, and sometimes zombies show up. That's the title the show should be.
There'll be 2 characters talking, and there's a zombie in the background just chilling.
There's there's a zombie over there. Okay, stab it in the back of the head. Okay, continue.
You're saying about Game of Thrones though?
Yeah, I think Game of Thrones would have been better if the Night King killed everyone.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like wasn't that a supposed ending, or it was like someone thought that maybe that was going to be the ending of them?
I just hate how they hyped the Night King up like he was gonna be like Jiren or something from fucking like Universe 9.
Let's be real. They hyped up everything in that entire show, and then it just went.
Well, that was the whole point. Was like everyone was supposed to be like all powerful, and it's like, oh well, they just fucking die.
Because the writers wanted to do Star Wars. The writers wanted to do Star Wars, so they're like, okay, we're done with this. End it. End it quickly. End it now.
I like how Star Wars was guilty of. Oh shit! Our first 2. I'm talking about the most recent Star Wars. Oh shit! Our first 2 movies didn't have any actual plot. We need to make up for it in the first half of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, and I just even now thinking about it, like it's like would I rather have what we have with House of Cards, or would I rather still be waiting for season 2 of No Game No Life? And I'm just like,
bro, you didn't have to do that to me.
You know it's true though, dude. It's just
I know it's true, but man.
I'll tell you, an anime sequel that didn't need to happen was Fooly Cooly. I would have been better off if that was untouched.
Yeah,
I would say the entirety of Sword Art Online didn't need a sequel.
Yeah, people say season 1 amazing. Go ahead, Dolly. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, All they needed to do is just cut out every single time they go to that stupid Alfheim, whatever that place
Alfheim.
is.
Yeah,
Because
they
Gungale
just
was cool. I liked
Gun Gale was pretty good. I think even like had they just not done Alfheim and just continued like use the extra 13 episodes to continue being in the first game, actual Sword Art would have been pretty dope. But like every time I think of Sword Art Online now, when someone's like, there's a Kanye West meme. It's just Kanye like straight face. It's like when someone's keeps telling a joke, but they don't stop, and it's just like is it done yet? Like Sword Art Online 3, is it done yet? Sword Art Online 4, are they still not done yet? What's going on here?
And then you
Like,
got Sword Art Online, Alicization or whatever it's called.
World. Totally not Saber. Totally not Saber, by the way. The
Totally
chick from that is 100% not Saber from Fate Stay Night. Look, even her name isn't Saber, even though her story looks like Saber and her outfit looks like Saber.
Yeah, not
Um,
anime, but that's how I feel about Grey's Anatomy. I just feel like it just needs to end. Please
this
end.
still
Nope,
going
too
on?
popular. Yeah. Oh
What?
yeah.
Oh man, someone told
I'll
me who would win, House or Gray, and I was like, I mean, Gray's still alive, so.
Is it Lupus? The question is it Lupus or not?
It's
Well, then
never
House.
lupus.
It was once.
It was
was
once.
once.
I know.
What?
House is still alive.
The show, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant character because I remember. I can't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still need to finish. I was gonna say, speaking of that, the TV show I need to finish is House. I'm like on the last
Oh, it's such a
3
good
seasons.
show.
Yeah.
I was on like 2 episodes away from Breaking Bad, and I dropped it like 2
Oh.
episodes away. Eventually, I went back
Oh.
and finished it before.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
okay.
I was
now
gonna
watch
say,
it.
I was gonna say an example of a show that ended when it needed to, didn't overstay its welcome, was Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's so
Yeah.
interesting because it's perfect TV, and somehow, in my opinion at least, Better Call Saul did an even better job. And it's like, damn, it one upped
Because
itself.
Bob Odenkirk is the fucking.
Oh yeah, no
boss.
doubt about it. He makes that. No doubt about it.
Have
So
you seen
good.
his sketch comedy show? He has a sketch comedy show with the bald bad guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I don't know his
Oh.
Not
name,
seen
but
that.
he's really bald. And
No, I
like
didn't
it's
know.
So like Cody.
The only
all
way
right.
you can be remembered is from that bald guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I think you gotta rethink your
what sucks is I know for a fact he's been the bad guy in tons of things, but all I can think of is him as the bad guy from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Fuck,
Just
dude.
blame having children. You just have to. You just know Alvin and the Chipmunks because the kids.
Bro,
I'm definitely sure this movie came out before.
Not wrong.
I don't know how many times I've said like I am the one who knocks, and like like in different setups, like or I'm just like someone gets shot in the night, and you think that of me? No, like I don't know how many times I've set up. I'm the
It's
one who
it's an achievement in Payday too. I am the one who knocks.
Yeah.
I love it. Or the
That's
one who
true.
knocks.
Yeah, it's like
That's
I'm
such
the
a good
one.
line, and it's like only Bryan Cranston could deliver it like that. Like that was so good.
You know who I am.
I am the danger. I like
So
holy when he said that.
right.
I am the danger. I was like, ooh, shit.
Right.
Say my name.
Yeah.
Don't say my name.
Hey, but you know what? It was all that greed and cockiness that got him though. It was all that ego. He was an egomaniac.
I mean, yeah, but at the very least, at the end of it, he could say, "He's like, no, I did it for me." But I could respect.
I tell you
that.
what
I could
resonated
respect
with me
that.
was when he looked at his kid and he goes, something, something, something. I didn't discover the best point of my life until I was in my 50s. Or something like that. And he looked at his kid saying that, and that just hit me because he's like, you get to experience the best part of your life and know what it was. Me, I didn't discover it till I was in my 50s or something. And he was basically showing that meth was the only thing he was actually proud of outside of his kid.
Yeah,
Well, I
he
mean,
was, he was
his whole
adamant.
life was filled with regret. He missed out on
Yeah.
that chance to be part of that company.
Oh, billions, wasn't
Yeah,
it? With a
billions,
B?
billions of dollars, and instead he's teaching high school students that don't
And
give
we're
a
working
shit
at a
about
car-
him. Yeah, and
And
working at a
working
car
at a
wash.
car
Like
wash.
the man is the classic father figure. The man that chose the family, chose the simple life. Passed up on that great opportunity when he was younger. Missed out on the woman of could have been the woman of his dreams because Skylar was fucking awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. But to be fair, she was down. She was dead. She was down to ride even up until the very end, hiding a secret for him and stuff when he
It's
visited.
It's like one of those things though. Like it's I would. How do I say this nicely? Because she was down to ride. That's the last person I want ride with me. Like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
it's-
we've
of all
already
the people
agreed
to be
break the
loyal.
law. Yeah, it's like we've already agreed to break the law. You got like, if you're down, you have to be down, not like half in, half out. Oh, we're doing wrong. Yeah, we know it's wrong, bitch. We knew that like 5 hours ago. We
That
know
I
it is.
that I fucked Ted episode was such a cleverly made episode because it made a lot of guys go fuck. Like man, that got a lot of people against her. That was such a good episode, dude.
No, that wasn't a turning point for me. She sucked long before that.
Yeah.
The only time she was a good character was when she was fucking that guy. That's it.
I did like
Yes.
when she was like Walt, you're doing things very stupidly, and she was gonna help him. I thought that was pretty cool when she took to the task
when
of
she-
okay, I'll launder for you.
Yeah, a lot of the money will create the car wash. I'm like,
Or the
all right.
videotape when she did that fake confession, she was down with him too. That was pretty cool of her, it was fucked up, but
That's one of the things. Like for me, it's like you gotta commit, dude. There was another show like that called The Shield. I don't know if anyone ever seen that.
oh
a while back.
yeah. Before the
bruh.
thing was the thing.
Yeah, before the thing was the thing, dude.
Yep.
Vic
Same
Mackey,
actor.
like it's just one of those things where it's just like you gotta have a squad, and that squad's gotta be down. And every time, it's always the wife that's not down. Find yourself. How did they say in End of the Watch? Just find a girl who's down for your shit and fucking lock it up, bro. Sid. She's like looking at me like, nah. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know, dude. What do I need to finish? I need to finish a lot, actually. I have like
Yeah, that's what it feels like with me. I'm on like the last season of a lot of stuff.
I'm almost finished Suits. I restarted Suits. If you guys have never seen that show, it's a really good show. It's a show in USA about a guy basically.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen part
Yeah,
of it.
a guy basically walks into a lawyer interview, has never gone to law school, but has a photographic memory and like knows almost every statute because he has like, or at least every law because he has a photographic memory and read the law book a bunch of times. But he basically, another dude sneaks him into like one of the top law firms in New York, and then of course antics ensue because he's pretending to be a lawyer, but he's not really a lawyer. So he's like bodying all these like big firm lawyers while also like trying to make sure that they don't find out he's not actually a lawyer and send him to jail. And it's this whole balancing act for a few years. It's pretty good. Shows that should not go on is Food Wars. Why is Food Wars getting a 5th season? There's no reason for this. I just logged on right now. It's like, would you watch a new episode of Food Wars? No, the show's done. End it.
What is Food Wars?
I was just
Shokugeki no Sama. You ever see that anime where people eat food and their clothes fly off? That's Food Wars.
That was-
What?
I think that's a great introduction to
Course that I'm
anime if
finishing
you've
right
never seen it.
I know Dahlia's finishing Food Wars because you've been torturing me with the pictures of the food. I'll be doing good on my diet, and she's like, "Look at this souffle they made on this episode."
Bruh.
If you really want to be tortured by food, just watch a Hayao Miyazaki movie or a lot of just food anime in general because
bruh.
it looks just so
Yeah.
good.
Final Fantasy 15 had photorealistic food in it.
anime bacon isn't fair. Because you know
It
that
really isn't.
it looks that thick and delicious.
I'm just saying, if you don't like bacon, get out of my life. I don't need that negativity around me for my mental health.
What about
Right.
the bugs in Animal Crossing? Too realistic?
Yeah, the tarantulas a
catch all
little
the
bit. Tarantulas are a little creepy.
Even like the water bugs, I'm just like, ugh.
I actually
Too
don't
giant.
have too many series. I'm like looking now. I don't have too many series I need to finish. Actually, right now, I'm actually doing pretty good on that. I need shows that get a second season so then I can finish them, but I don't think that counts. Yeah.
I need to watch Tiger King.
Oh, we need to finish that, Dahlia. Yes, you
Fuck
do, Marilyn. It's so
Carol
good.
Baskin.
Fucking Carol.
I hear all the memes.
hire an assassin.
I hear all the memes. I see everything on the internet. I'm just like, damn it! I need to sit down and actually watch this fucking show.
I don't know that I'm actually gonna watch it.
Yeah.
The memes are just so abundant right now. It's like I don't think I even need to watch. I already know everything I need to know from this.
Basically,
I've
yeah.
been told
it's-
it's such a shit show though that it's worth watching it even if you do get the entire.
It
plot
is
for memes.
because you gotta constantly remind yourself that when you start the show, it's literally just a documentary about tiger owners and what it devolves into. And we gotta keep it. I'm serious. Just remind yourself this is real life. and this started out as a tiger owner documentary, and what it turns into is just unreal. It's just like, what? How did we get here? That's what you're gonna ask yourself: is how did we fucking get here?
I can imagine. As someone who's like gone through stuff like that in life, it's like we start like, fuck. There's a Call of Duty game. It was like Black Ops. I want to say it was Black Ops 3, where like it was one of those surreal moments you have in life. It's kind of random, but like it's a surreal moment. Like in the game, you're like in someone's mind, basically Inception. You're climbing up a mountain that's falling sideways, and there's like demon zombies trying to like take over your mind and shit. And I just remember playing that game with my old like Call of Duty buddy, and he just like, remember when we just fought Nazis and shit?
Yeah.
like normal stuff. Like the fuck is this? It's like, remember when we just fought normal shit like Nazis and terrorists? Like the fuck is this?
It's like when I'm playing DVD for the upteenth hour and I find myself arguing with Chad about palettes, and then I have an existential crisis moment and I think, what led to me sitting here online talking about palettes? Sometimes I just have that realization. I'm like, what led to me sitting here with a serious face talking about palettes and the amount of them on a map? Like I never thought, I just think about it like this is what we're doing now. We're discussing palettes in a video game. If you would have told young Cody, hey, you're going to get into a lot of fights about video games. Oh, about who's better or no, it's about palettes. What's a palette?
I mean, didn't you like write that essay when you did roleplay in ARM?
Oh yeah, arguing about armor values. Oh no, yeah, when I was in role, I literally wrote a 3-page essay to it was a 5-page essay to the server owner because they kept nerfing gang members and buffing cops, and he just said LOL didn't read, and I'm like, damn. I'm the loser because I spent time writing it. It's like, what leads to that point? Like you realize what you're doing. It's like, I'm sitting here writing 5-page paper on a video game. Them triple paragraph novels.
Fuck all that. Like, listen, it's like I've got like, there's moments where I'm like, I'm not gonna write these paragraphs, and there's other moments where I'm just like, what are you doing? It's like, I can't. Someone on the internet is wrong. Hold on.
I gotta defend myself. Let it go. The worst is just let it go, bro. No, you don't understand.
He's on the internet and he's wrong. All right,
we gotta fix it. We gotta fix it right now.
He's wrong, and I'm right. He's wrong, and I'm right, and no, he's wrong.
He's gonna learn today.
My favorite's when those people come into my chat and they like tell about like, I'm done with this game. Proceeds to type 5 pages worth of complaints, and I'm like, okay, so you're done with the game, right? No, I just played another match.
Yeah, bro. The whole like, I'm not mad is like, are you sure, bro? Like, you seem pretty tilted. Like, you wrote all this about how you're not mad. I was just gonna leave. Like, it's like, oh man.
You say you're not mad, but the vein on your forehead is pretty much sign language for I'm pissed.
Right.
Well, that's a damn 4-hour podcast, fellers. Hey, Chino, I won't lie. I was surprised to see you hop in. I was like, shit, is he gonna even have time?
Yeah, I strategically planned the day. Honestly, the only even reason I knew the podcast was today is I saw your tweet yesterday about it. Like, as I was like in a meeting, I was like, wait, we have a podcast tomorrow? I was like, oh,
I
shit.
threw it up like in a very I didn't tag anyone. I was at the start of the week this week, and the team, I was like, oh, the podcast is Friday. If you can make it, make it. I want to make it every 2 weeks, or try to.
Oh yeah,
this is cool. It's been
Yeah, so like as soon
I have
as
fun
I saw
during
that,
this.
I was like, I'm fucking down. I was like, I'm watching the baby over the night, and I was like, well, she wants to go to her parents' house, so we go to your parents' house. They play with the baby. You take care of your stuff. I'm gonna go to sleep. I wake up, I'm gonna get home for the podcast, so it'll be Gucci.
Well, I thank all you guys for joining me again, man. Like I said, especially during these times, it's hard to socialize. So this is like fucking awesome, dude.
In these times, it's even easier than it usually is to do this. So,
hell, even this Discord update so far made it easier for the monitor capture, at least. Dahlia, are you still streaming, or are we seeing the return of Black Dahlia streaming tonight?
Mm-hmm. Is little baby Bazu gonna get to watch Dahlia?
Yeah, she's gonna do DBD. I'm gonna queue up with her, boys. Oh, look at hold on. I gotta get you. Hold on.
She's still so sleepy. She's just like,
Her first words are gonna be GG easy.
yep.
Hey, she said her first words. What were they? GG easy.
You obviously know it's gonna be GG fun chases. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
fun chases.
Then she's gonna crawl away. I'll be like, come back here. And she's like, GG fun chase.
She's so cute.
So adorable.
Get looped, nerd.
Right? I'm already planning on like I'm growing my beard out and getting a little bit of gray in it. I'm gonna make her a warrior princess. Gonna be like still gonna be dad of boy, but it's gonna be dad of girl. It's gonna be like, come to me, Victoria, and we're just gonna be like battles. She's gonna ride me into battles. She's gonna like be on my shoulder, shooting arrows at people. We've got it all planned out. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? She's like, I was sleeping. What are you doing? But yeah, but I'm happy I have her here, and I'm happy you guys got to see her today.
Congratulations.
So she was actually born the day of your guys' last podcast, which is why I wasn't there. She was born at 1 o'clock that day, so I was still in the hospital or whatever with her hanging out.
Don't
We
worry,
were
we'll
watching the podcast inside the hospital and stuff. So
we'll help you keep track of how old she is.
Yeah, we can all teamwork it now.
Right, it's 1 month. Well, she's 2 weeks today, so next podcast she'll be 1 month, guys. Don't forget, chat. Don't forget.
We'll just see
All
her
right.
grow as it goes.
Oh man, there was another someone in that's a viewer that had a kid like a year ago. It's Miss Beautiful Mama. She has a kid named Chloe, and it's cool seeing like I remember when she wasn't even pregnant yet. So it's like we have like 2 kids now in the diner that like we're gonna see them grow up. That's kind of surreal, really, actually.
Mm-hmm. I said the same thing. I was
That's
just
cool.
like, I don't know what's so more awkward, chat. The fact that like I'm having to come up with 2-year sub badges or 3-year sub badges, or the fact that like we're also having to come up with baby names with you guys and stuff.
Yeah.
I know, like it's weird to see this like in person because I've seen videos of like people who are literally like saying to streamers, "Hey, I'm about to get married and I'm about to walk down the aisle," and
Yeah.
I've seen that one, and I've seen my wife just gave birth. Those are the 2 I've seen from a video.
I should have came in the stream and said at that time when you guys were at the podcast. She just gave birth, guys. She'll say hi.
Oh, if you didn't tell any of us or anybody that you had a kid, and then like this was the first time you announced it to the world, I would have been like, wait, what?
Nani?
The only thing I can compare to that to was one of my best friends, Krista. She one day, I get a text, I just delivered a kid. Now, none of us knew she was pregnant, nothing. And she was a good friend of all of us. She was just like, I just gave birth. And I just remember looking at my phone going, am I in the right dimension? Like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what? So if you would have came onto the podcast, by the way, here's my daughter, I would have been like,
What's funny is one of my like actual girlfriends did the exact same shit to me because we hadn't told each other. And so I like called her because her birthday was like right before she was born. And so it's like, doesn't someone have a birthday in March? And she's just like, it's like Corey. And I was like, yeah. And somebody else is like me. It's like, no, also my daughter. Oh, she's like, that's crazy. That's right after my son's birthday. And I'm just like, wait, your son? She's just like, you son of a bitch. But yeah, she just like apparently got pregnant right around the same time. We just haven't seen each other in forever. And I was like, you sneaky son of a gun.
spicy. I know you're the younger of us crew here, and you're man, when you get near the mid-20s to late 20s, you just start seeing all your friends have babies and shit. It's weird, man. It's still weird.
So many
'Cause
babies.
There's just so many babies, dude. You'll be like on Facebook, new pregnancy. I'm just like, oh, another baby coming.
And then you get to be at a bunch of weddings. I was at
Oh,
3
yeah.
in 1
No,
year. I
if
was
you
a
live in-
Yeah,
bridesmaid
I'm not gonna be
3
able to
times.
visit my half sister's wedding.
Now, see, if you lived in Vegas, you would have went through all this in middle school. I'm actually a late bloomer out of my friends. So,
All right, I'm gonna let Dahlia shout herself out, say some last words first, so she can go set up and we'll host her, and then I'll let everyone say a little something, shout themselves out, shout their YouTubes out, and I already got the links in chat ready. So Dahlia, you start, and then we'll go with Frighten and so on.
Well, I'm Black Dahlia 42. You can find all my social media. Actually, no, my Twitter and Twitch are both that. Instagram's badwolf1024, and then you can also find me writing articles on horrorbound.net. So I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go set up my shit.
She's playing DBD, and I'm going to be dual queuing with her. Maybe we'll have some more fellers on, too. So, yo, go check it out. Dahlia, thanks for joining us. Thanks for letting me interrupt you all the time, and we'll see you on your own stream.
Bye. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Little ears.
Bye.
They want to hear her cry. No, I've got to start up. She did not want to cry the day she was born, which is why she actually ended up. They wanted to take her to the ICU because she refused to cry. But now,
Yep.
yeah. Now you change her diapers and you swear you're trying to assassinate her or whatever. Doesn't cry for anything else. Like it won't cry. Like she's hungry, she'll cry a little bit. But like if you try to change her diaper, I'm like, whoa, okay, reptile, like relax, yo.
The
Nice.
beast is awakened.
Very nice.
Reptile wins.
Right? Get hit by like the black canary and sit down like.
All right, Frighten. It looks like you just took some damage, so let's get you a shout out.
Yeah, I just got the back of my hand.
I like that Kratos.
Oh. All right, what you got, Frighten? Shout yourself out. Say a little bit, you Valorant junkie.
Yeah.
Oh,
so-
hold on, before you go, what's your Valorant name? Or just DM me in the Discord.
Yeah. I'll get it at Chishino.
Alright.
Spicy, maybe next time.
Maybe one day. I'm just still figuring out that sacrificial ritual.
I'll DM you all my ingredients, all right?
All right, man.
All right, so my man Frighten on Twitch. If you are interested in normie boosted shitty Valorant gameplay, I'm your guy. None of these other guys, all 50 million of them that are streaming this shit right now. You should definitely come and check it out. I have a lot of fun with it. Even when I go 5 and 25, it's a real thing.
Hey.
Hey, I'm with you on that one, man. I get
Dude,
it.
I'm so old. These kids, man, they snap on your head in instant time.
They cheat.
What
Cheaters.
happened?
Fucking cheaters.
Ah!
All right,
So,
love you, Frighten. Man.
hey,
Go.
The hidden MMR in the unranked play is really good. Like for a while, for like my first like 15-20 matches, it was literally like back and forth. You win one, you lose one. You win one, you lose one. You just go back and forth, and it just keeps like it's keep finding your average to make sure that you're getting where you're supposed to be. So it's really good. So you're going to find a happy medium where you belong, so that you won't always be miserable, but you won't always be winning. So
It's refreshing to have a game with a proper MMR, I bet, isn't it?
Fucking
When you've played DBD for
Oh
so
my
long
God.
and shit. Yeah. Well, thanks, Frighten, man. We appreciate it, dude. You don't have to like leave the call or anything, but I'm just making sure everyone. Marilyn, you could be next. Say a little bit. Shout yourself out.
Marilyn, I stream on weekends and also every other Wednesday. This Wednesday will be another D&D stream. I think this is our like 6th or 7th session or something. Good fun. Lots of beginners welcome. If you have questions about D&D, come hang out. This weekend, probably going to be just Final Fantasy VII.
There you go. Enjoy
That's
that,
my
man.
entire plan. And Animal Crossing on the side.
Oh,
So
of
many
course.
games. Between Animal Crossing and Final Fantasy VII and Resident Evil 3, there's so many games I want to play right now, dude.
Wait for RE3
there's
to
so
go
many.
down. Wait for
I need a
RE3. Trust me.
Tarantula Island. I need a Tarantula Island. I have not found one yet, and I need it.
Good luck. Thanks for joining us, Marilyn. Wizrobe
thanks for
Joe,
having
what
me.
you got, man?
What's up, guys? I'm Wizrobe Joe. I can't talk anymore.
Wizrobe Dro, baby.
Yeah, I like to stream a lot of story-driven games like Hollow Knight, Dark Souls, Sekiro. I like Punishment for some reason.
Hey, you're good at them though, man.
I have been playing more Dead by Daylight recently. I've been playing some Risk of Rain and Payday off stream. Always looking for more people to play games with. Come say hi sometime, or
He's
just
cool dude, man.
or just add me on Steam. You don't even have to come watch my stream. Just be my friend.
That's it.
Just
That's
be
it.
my friend.
Just be my friend.
Easy going guy. Joe's great. Joe, thanks for joining us, man, as always, brother. And hey, this weekend, the secret, I got to do the one over. You got to remind me the achievement. I'll do it. And then, yeah, we got the secret ending. And hell yeah, brother. All right. And not last. Well, we made him last but least. But we'll go with Shino Bazu next. Shino, you know a little bit about yourself. My YouTube editor, brand new father of the diner, and also just a great around guy. After you're done talking to the waifu. It's fine, man.
I was gonna say, is like, is she talking yet? Or can you guys hear me? Yeah, you guys hear me.
Hey, if we can get her to say bye, dude, that first words on stream, pog.
2 weeks old, already saying bye, dude.
All right, I didn't know if you guys could hear her crying earlier. That's why I was like, you can finally hear her talk. But...
2 weeks old. Follow the channel.
Yeah. Hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shino Bazu. Behind me is my manager and girlfriend, Lisa Lumos, and this is the little Ella Victoria that I showed you guys earlier. But for the most part, I do a lot. I'm just gonna be real. I do everything from like League of Legends, Dead by Daylight, story-based games, video editing, stream help, stream coaching. I'm like helping people set up like streaming events in their like local areas for people who are trying to grow their streaming communities until we all got told to stay in our house. But now I'm helping teach people how to set up online events since we're not allowed to leave our houses, which probably works out better for us gamers anyway. But
we've been ready for this fucking shit.
I'm fine with it.
So, but yeah,
same, yeah.
I do a lot of different things. If you're interested in learning how to grow your stream, learning how to grow some memes, or pretty much anything else in between, my stream's a good place to go. Kick it and check it out. I also have a bunch of different YouTube channels. The newest channel we're watching is a soda tasting channel with a friend of mine. So we've got like a bunch of crazy sodas from around the world that we're going to be showing off every few days. So
Melon Fanta.
if you right, like Melon Fanta is like a good day, but like we have like, so we're splitting it up into like something that we like, something that like we've never heard of that sounds weird, and then something that just sounds fucking terrible. So like our second one we're going to be doing is bacon soda, because apparently that's a thing.
Why?
So he's got a couple of bottles of bacon soda for us to try. So I have no fucking idea.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm saying be careful.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a yikes for me, Doc. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, if you're interested in watching crazy stuff on YouTube and that channel's up, I'll let you guys know about it. But or you can just look up Shino Shoto on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. But other than that,
Check him out. He's a fantastic guy. And Shino, thanks for the fucking emergency appearance, dude. Like, we're honored, especially with all going on with your life, man. Like I said, I meant it as a compliment. You got the tired dad face, but you earned it. Yeah.
I do what I can.
And this time, last but certainly not least, is Spicy Hand, my toxic feller. Spicy, I'll shut you out. Let's have you say a few things about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Spicy Hand, as apparently a lot of game platforms don't like me calling myself Spicy Hand for whatever reason. If I'm not playing DVD, chilling at Old Reliable, I'm playing a lot of variety games, from survival games, story-based games, all that stuff. Seriously, I don't know why they just don't allow Spicy Hand. Like the Valorant launcher, I downloaded it and then I realized I need to get the beta. But when I made my account, they're like, "Yeah, you can't use Spicy Hand." I'm like, "What?"
You got a
it just makes
little,
me so confused.
you got a very risque name, then that has a little bit of value to it.
Yeah, apparently.
Call it Toxic Hand, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, that's a good one.
No, fuck it. Go for the throat. God Hand.
God.
God Hand. No, seriously though, guys. Spicy's amazing. He's a very patient teammate of mine on DBD very frequently, much like Joe is on Payday 2 recently. They're very patient. And no, real talk, all these guys are great. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.